Oh boy. Oh boy, I hope you guys are ready. Oh, I hope you guys are ready. 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 Because it's gonna be a good one. It's today's gonna be like a real casual one, a real good one. Today, first we're gonna react to the hi, hello, and hi. Hi, I'm Goose. Hi, if you've never seen me before, welcome. This is a live stream. If you've never seen a live stream before, it's when people do streaming live on platforms like YouTube and Twitch. Crazy, right? Crazy. It's almost like this has been going on for like a bajillion years. That was a burp. You did hear it. You heard it first. So, I mean, as per usual, right? If you've ever been here before, you know what's happening. You sort of know the drill. If you haven't been here, sub and then say what's up. That'd be real cool. We're trying to grow community here, and we're trying to break 500 subs. I know we can do it. It takes you to help, but I have faith. So today, first, we're going to be reacting to the Spider-Man trailer for Brand New Day, which I don't think I've really ever expressed much opinion about comic books or comic book heroes here on the channel yet. I do have another channel that is called Goose's Crackpot Theories that I don't really upload to anymore, and that's usually where I put all my comic book and movie stuff. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've talked in any amount of time, or for any amount of time, about my relationship with Marvel properties and just how I feel in general about the MCU. I think obviously a lot of people think that the MCU is a bit played out at this point, that there's, a little bit more superhero fatigue than I think there was a few years ago, and it's only going to get worse, especially when a lot of movies nowadays are doing more like political, real-world narrative stuff. Not that I have a problem with that. Sometimes the truth needs to be told, and art is a reflection of what the artist feels. But also, it brings heroes much more close to real life, and we watch superhero movies and we read comic books to get away from real life, much the same reason that people play video games. So, in general, I love reading comic books. I wouldn't consider myself an expert. I love watching MCU movies. I've seen every single one. I just finished watching them all again in order. I don't mind that they have issues in them. I think all movies have issues in them, and I think that if we pick them apart and criticize them endlessly, I know that some people get paid to criticize stuff, but if we pick them apart and we criticize them endlessly and needlessly, just kind of nitpicking over specific details, then we kind of miss the forest through the trees, in that our most favorite, characters growing up are there on the screen, and it's really cool to see. So my general opinion about MCU movies is that I like them all. I know they all have room for improvement, but I think that I'm really just appreciative that all of the heroes that I idolized growing up and saw, in animated form, in like Sam Raimi form, which was great at the time, but it's really good to kind of see that evolve a little bit. And I'm really excited to see what kind of crazy things they can come up with once they really let themselves be, free and imaginative and really do what they envision. Like a lot of MCU directors say, that I want to really tell this story. I want to really put this story arc on the map. It's lesser known, like that kind of stuff. But then it kind of gets lost in the development process. And a lot of the movies so far have really just had so much studio involvement and too many voices all kind of speaking at the same time, and too many people who are creatives who are trying to be just like Kevin Feige, or they're trying to be the next Kevin Feige, or they're trying to be the next Sam Raimi, or they're trying to be the next whoever they idolize, and it kind of makes whatever they make less cool and less fun, because they're just doing what James Gunn is doing, or they're doing what John Watts was doing. Let me I gotta open my window real quick, let the sunlight in. I feel a bit like a vampire. By the way, hi guys, come on, say hi. It don't cost you nothing to subscribe, and it lets you chat. You don't have to be subscribed for any particular amount of time. Just chill, say what's up, hang out with me while we break down this trailer, alright? I'll be right back. Gotta open my window. And the gods said, let there be some additional light. Let there be just a tiny bit more light. I know it's nice because my dogs enjoy it. And if my dogs enjoy it, I don't mean my feet. I'm not saying that my feet are dogs. I'm just saying my actual dogs. The dogs that live in my apartment. They're my dogs. They're not just random dogs that live in the apartment. Anywho, let's watch this trailer. I'll be honest, this is not the first time I've watched it. You know, bear with me here. I've already seen it. I've done pre-watched. I know that is near blasphemy when it comes to, you know, reactions live on the internet, but you'll just have to give me the what is it? Plausible? No. Oh fuck! What is it? Oh my god! It's a suspension of disbelief. Just give me some suspension of disbelief there, okay? By the way, I'm Goose. Welcome, guys. Let's hang out. Let's be friends. Let's watch this trailer together. I will be stopping and going throughout the whole thing, so as not to trigger the old, hey, you know, the fair use is no longer in application. So if you want to watch the trailer by yourself without any interruptions, I would suggest you do so and then come back here or open another window. Then stay here anyway. I need the engagement. I am gonna, however, turn the music down or off while we watch it.
I can't believe our first hit MIT! MJ, come on, pretend like you're not the happiest you've ever been in your entire life.
So if you're not familiar, at the end of the last movie, Peter's memory was wiped from everybody, including Ned and MJ, and he basically decided that they're better off. I feel like this kind of undermines that a little bit, in that he's kind of making it, Peter is kind of making it a mission in his life now to sort of regain that memory. Stop. No, you're not eating until it's actually time to eat. It's only 9 o'clock right now. Can you believe it? But like, oh, maybe you have to go outside. I'll open the window or open the door for them so that they can go out. Give me a sec. Thank you. All right. Here we go. Sorry, I didn't mean to jump scare anyone with the Mario voice, the Mario voice, right?
I can't.
I knew it!
So clearly he's got the fabric suit now that he just kind of made with his sewing skills. They never did explain why he's so good at sewing, especially because he's got to also be smart and excelling in school and all this kind of stuff. But you know what? That's just kind of one of those do-si-dos that you don't really need to pay attention to. He happens to be good at sewing. He can sew. He's a smart kid. He can figure it out.
Hi, my name is Peter Parker. You don't remember me, but we used to know each other. Something bad was going to happen, and the only way to stop it was to make everyone forget about me.
So, from what I remember, I thought Jacob Batalon was like really like Ozempic skinny now, and I don't mind like his body type either way he decides to be. But I thought I'd seen in some interviews and stuff that he was doing for like a different movie. He looked pretty skinny, and then, you know, it seems like maybe they didn't have him bulk up or anything. I don't think they would have said like, hey, can you please be your original size for the, I don't think they would have asked that. But it's, you know, I don't know, maybe they filmed this, no, because I remember seeing the Reddit announcement when they were like, oh, you know, we caught footage of them filming like a little while ago, and this is after I'd seen him in that movie, but like he had a bald head, but I mean, you can grow your hair out again. but he looked like way skinny. Like he looked like a skinny man, a way skinny man. But you know, maybe that people fluctuate all the time. And then like I don't. There's really not much to say other than the fact of this part where he's jumping off. I mean, I think we kind of have had at any point in the beginning of a Spider-Man story, of a Johnny Spider-Man story, we keep having these moments of like the free fall, and I think everyone kind of can get on board with that. Like the idea of being able to just fly and like, you know, do that really cool steep dive and then pull yourself up at the last moment, that kind of thing. Like I think we all get on board with that. I think we all kind of like have that sort of general urge to fly like the birds, you know? And this is ubiquitous. We've seen this at the beginning of any like Spider-Man project, any Johann Spider-Man project. We keep seeing like diving off a building, and I honestly can't get enough of it. My favorite one is this one. What's it called? Oh, it's all it takes is all it takes is a leap of faith. Oh, what is it? This one. So I think Spooderman, Skippy, fuck yeah, Spooderman. Come on, there we go. This one here. I think this one is by far the best sort of like, I definitely don't want to get copyright struck or whatever. But the dive that he does in this one with the music on the back of it is like second to none so far. Probably the best one. If we were to rate the free fall scenes from all the Spider-Man movies, this one would by far be the best one. Like there's no comparison. I would find it very hard to believe anyone if they said that they like the Amazing Spider-Man better or the Spider-Man from the Sam Raimi universe better. Like fuck no. Nah, dude. Nah. Mm-mm. At this point in the movie, I was like, I had tears running down my face, but I was also like, fuck yeah! There were two extremes of emotions going on.
They fit perfectly.
Like, come on. Like, I'm feeling that chill up my spine right now. Can't stop it now. Fuck yes! Yes! Yes, Spider-Man! You're Spider-Man! Go do the Spider-Man! Yes! You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm getting the copyright. I'm getting the copyright notification. But you get my drift. You catch what I'm saying. I think that's, you know, it's really important to highlight the moments that really make you feel really good about the character that you're seeing. And if you feel inspired by characters like Mr. Johann Spider-Man, then that's probably one of the best scenes to watch. If you really want to just feel like, fuck yeah, that's Spider-Man. Yeah, fuck yeah, yeah. You go, Spider-Man. But they all have had one of those. And this is pretty good. I mean, like showing the view inside the helmet, like that's definitely something we've never gotten before. And the fact that his breathing is so slow is so cool, so badass. Like it's more so like so if you don't know from the comics, the reason why Peter's always so sort of like flippant and always making like kind of like jokes, but he more so makes like snarky statements more than anything, like making fun of his opponents. It's all because like he's like it's like a distraction. It's like a you know, trying to be creative in terms of, you know, throwing your opponent off guard. It really is just that simple, but it is that. It is a distraction, and it is like a sort of a tactic, a way for him to lower the guard of his opponent, because he could just beat the ever-living shit out of them, because, you know, he I think it was fairly recent during the Superior Spider-Man comic run where we found out that Spider-Man was actually way more powerful than he ever let on. I think Superior Spider-Man was in a battle with the Scorpion and punched his jaw clean off. Just clean off. And he was like, holy shit. This entire time Spider-Man's been holding back against me? Against everyone? And yeah, because he's a good guy. And so it's like underneath the youthful banter, underneath the quips, underneath all that joking exterior, underneath how like new to this or how like unsure he may be about himself, is this fucking Hunter. Like, is this like not Hunter, but like, is this like cold instinctual machine? And we're probably going to see that when the, spoiler alert, when the spider thing happens, when the man spider thing, because I'm sure that's what's happening in this. You'll see later, but let's keep it going here. Also, another thing that you get with most of the Spider-Man properties is...
Hi, my name is Peter...
Hi, my name is Peter Parker. You know, I enjoy the constant through line where it's like, but you all know me, I'm Spider-Man, you know, all that kind of stuff. Like in every movie, it's sort of like a nod to the movies that came before it. It's cool, it's all right. I get, in terms of my nostalgia, I enjoy it, but in terms of like trying to figure out how to differentiate your new project from the projects that came before it, probably best to just kind of strike out on your own. But I love the nods. Like personally, I don't mind them. I feel like that for a lot of like newer or younger audiences who are trying to get into this thing for the first time, will be like, okay, I don't think it'll register really for them, you know, like it'll just seem like just an unnecessary part. Like I don't know, they won't connect to it as much, you know.
Peter Parker. You don't remember me, but we used to know each other. Something bad was going to happen, and the only way to stop it was to make everyone forget about me.
And so I think his goal in doing this, I think he's probably just in universe right now. I think he's just reading, perhaps a greeting that he's written for them. I hope that he leaves them alone. I hope that he does not try to bring them back into this, because it's just going to invalidate everything that happened at the end of the last movie. While I didn't like that part of it, like, because the last movie was almost like a mashup of what seemed to be like 3 different storylines that they just kind of put into one movie. And it wasn't bad by any means. Like, I just think it was really busy. And after you see this trailer in the full length, like, it will look busy to you. And I don't know if I'm in the minority in this, but I think that it's going to be a good idea to get a story that's more intimate, like Homecoming or like Far From Home, which gave us just kind of like these kind of like encapsulated stories where they were able to really dive into like character stuff. And that was really cool. I mean, I feel like the second Spider-Man was really more of a more action oriented, more like the playing up the betrayal angle, with like Tony Stark being dead, and I think he was dead at that point, wasn't he? Yeah, because Mysterio made him see Tony coming up from the grave, like in a zombie fashion. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. It felt more of like a movie trying to explain like how people felt at the time, which was good. But you know, ex-Punisher, Snake Eyes will return in Avengers Doomsday. Are you talking about Snake Eyes, the unmatched ninja assassin from the G.I. Joe series? Because I'd be down. I want to see some cool katana dual-wielding katana swordplay. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Because I'm not just Peter Parker. I'm Spider-Man.
The hell, Frank? You just...
Now, what I'm wondering is, do they have an existing relationship? Are we going to see where they meet at some point? Or are they just kind of like, they have an established collegial relationship, but also sort of adversarial? I think he's like, you know, still seen as, I guess, a hero, anti-hero. The point of the Punisher, if I have to explain anti-heroes, is really to take on the responsibility of being the bad guy. And really what that means is they become villains. They take on the role that they need to, they feel they have to, in order to become villains. They're okay with that. We're not supposed to see them necessarily as heroes. Punisher got a lot of redemption, I guess, over the years, but he keeps descending into just killing people, which, if you didn't know, in comic canon, in the overall comics, the way that all feels, typically heroes don't use blades, because blades are bad guy things. Typically heroes only ever save people, they never actually kill people. People like Batman and, you know, the dark superheroes do things that may lead to the villain's death, but they never outright kill a villain. And that's the big barrier between heroes and villains, is the willingness to kill. I forget who said it, but there have been a million hero movies, and in one of them, I don't remember which specifically, they said, why can't we just, you know, like, do the thing that needs to be done? And then the response from the other guy, I think, who was a more seasoned hero, was like, because the willingness to kill is what makes a villain, you know? And they're like explaining that like it's like objective established lore. And yeah, I'm sure that there are heroes that may start out killing people, or that may accidentally kill people, or have, you know, a policy or an ideology that makes them more willing to be the one that kills, but that's usually glossed over in the comics. I don't gloss it over. Like, I know that there's inconsistency there, but I think the creators of the comic books are the ones who kind of gloss it over and make it seem like it's not that big a deal. It's like, oh, you know, Black Widow, she's a hero, even though she spent a lot of time assassinating. You know, can't really deny that. It's just kind of, oh, that was her past. She was under what, mind control? I don't know. So like, we can totally retcon these things, and we can make it so that the guy that used to be a cold-blooded assassin, like Wolverine, for example, will then turn around and just be a scion for the good side. Totally fine. I don't have a problem with it, but I'm just reciting what the lore has always been. Anti-heroes are anti-heroes because they are not heroes. They are willing to take on the villain role in order to save people, which doesn't make them a villain, but also doesn't make them a hero. So treating Frank as anything other than a criminal here is just, it rubs me a little the wrong way. Like, I think either, if you're going to have an anti-hero, just make a new one, man. Just like, make a new vigilante who hasn't killed anybody, who's, you know, like, the only the reason why Peter Parker was friends with Boomerang is because Boomerang wasn't necessarily out there killing people. He was just a thief and a bad guy, you know. Maybe he killed people and I didn't know, because I didn't really read Dan Slott's run on Spider-Man. I was you know, I was this age, so don't do a lot of comic book reading. What's other Snake Eyes could be out there? Yeah, I mean, you know, there's plenty of katana wielding entities out there in the MCU, and it's entirely possible that one of them goes by Snake Eyes, all right? I mean, there is the Serpent Society. We know they exist in the MCU. So, and plus, in the past, you know, maybe they can retcon this, but in the past we've had Cottonmouth, we've had Copperhead, you know, so there's every possibility, Punisher, you know, you never know. You know that you never know, all right? That's the one thing we can be sure of.
Hit me with a van!
Quit your whimpering. Suit yourself. Mother.
Go home!
You see what I mean? So he's like slapping him on the wrist. This dude murdered quite a few people. And he's treated as the comic relief here. And I get it. I understand. Like, it's a wholesome family movie. Like, we don't want to be just showing people like, obviously we couldn't have him cussing, right? Because it's family friendly. But, I mean, shouldn't he have arrested him? Like, shouldn't he be behind bars? I feel like he should just really be just locked up and in prison and, like, I'm okay with him having been pardoned at some point. Maybe he was able to argue why he killed all the mobsters and bikers and stuff, and he was able to justify it well enough. But I believe he's still wanted for like lots and lots of murders, like lots of indiscriminate murders. And Spider-Man's just like, go home, Frank. All right, we don't need your vigilanteism out here. I'm here. All right, I got it. I can cover it. Don't worry about it.
And sometimes Spider-Man has to do the hard thing, even if it breaks Peter Parker's heart. What is happening to me?
So this is where it starts to go off the rails a little bit for me. In the last movie, as I said, I think that we got kind of a mishmash of like 3 different stories. We got the Aunt May dying, sort of like that was the story arc. Hey, Dex Senpai, how's it going? We got the Aunt May thing. We got the sort of the Sinister, the alternate universe Sinister Six thing, and then we got the what was the other thing? The spell of forgetting thing, right? So, in my opinion, the spell that made people forget Peter, like, is just a weird addition to it. Like, we don't need necessarily for that to be how other, how the villains come over. It's all good. It was a great movie. But my point is that it was busy. It was full of so much. It was like moment to moment things were happening. And again, I love that. But I know that a lot of people had criticisms over it. How did Aunt May die? Smash, by the way. Well, yeah, I mean, I've been watching Marissa Tomei for years, and I think that every role that she's had has been a pretty, pretty darn. She's a handsome woman. All right, I don't think anyone would disagree with that. She died in No Way Home from Green Goblin's glider. Spoilers if you haven't seen it. I guess if you're asking how she died, then you probably haven't seen it, but it's a good one. Go watch it if I were you. But he tried to attack Peter, and something happened. Or he was trying to get the cure from May, and like I don't remember what. It was just she got blown away by one of his bombs, or his glider caught her with a blade or something. Something happened. She died. And I think maybe it would have had more impact on me emotionally, maybe. I mean, I was sobbing like a baby the entire time in the theater, but subsequent watches, it may have had more emotional impact on me if it was in a different movie, What the hell does handsome woman means? Well, it's an old American phrase where you would say, well, that's a handsome woman when you mean that that's a beautiful woman. And I believe that, or I like it, because handsome is sort of a almost non-gendered term if you use it in that way. It's pretty funny. Think of the host, then make it female. Well, thank you for the compliment. But so the movie was busy, and I don't think that anyone would really disagree with that. It was busy. It was a busy movie. And adding this in with the rumored mention of Sadie Sink being Jean Grey, there's going to be a lot going on. We've got him trying to jog the memories of Ned and MJ. We've got him trying to cope with being just a normal on the ground Spideyman, and now we've got this twist in the narrative. Will Hulk be in Brand New Day? Yeah, yep. You'll see. We'll keep going through this, but introducing a sort of cocoon thing that's happening to Spidey, it seems like we're incorporating a little much into it, but let's continue. Oh no. So clearly he showed that he didn't have his web slingers and he was able to save himself. Can you guess how? My guess, and I guess maybe this is the one big criticism of this that I have, is that this is him becoming more organically Spider like Tobey Maguire did in the first Spider-Man movie. Do you know why that happens? Because producers and I guess directors alike think, oh well, we'll give him some of the things that the ones that people are nostalgic over had, and then they'll flock to this movie because they like the nostalgia bit. And it may only be a part of his Man Spider arc, which I'm hoping it is, but I don't think that the organic spider shooters or web shooters were the thing that people were latching onto. I think it was just the fact that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield were there as Spider-Man with this Spider-Man. I think that was what was cool about it. And then they had like a little joke about it. Oh, do you shoot web out of anywhere else? Like, yeah, that's it. But that's all you need. You don't need to just keep it going. There's no reason for this. I mean, I get it. He's turning into Man Spider, but there's no reason for him to be turning into Man Spider. We just need a good, cohesive story. Which is, again, it's gonna be good. But this is such a weird story detail. Kitty Pryde would have made much more sense than Jean Grey. Yeah. So, oh my gosh, let me go on a tangent real quick. Now, I have a lot of fan scripts, I guess you would say, that I've written about continuing the MCU in a way that I would have done it. And one of them is on my other channel, Goose's Crackpot Theories, if you'd like to check it out. I don't even think I have a link to it anymore. But it's how I would have done the Kang Dynasty. And in my MCU universe, Jesus Christ, Kitty Pryde is the first mutant that you actually ever see. And I have a fan script written for I gave it a tongue-in-cheek title. It's X-Men Origins Wolverine. But it's actually a story about him after the Damnation storyline in the comics, where he's basically working for Mephisto in Las Vegas, which is now run by demons. And he's basically taking out the competition for Mephisto, and Kitty Pryde shows up already with the spirit of Ogun inside of her, and she's already tamed Lockheed. Like, she's a seasoned hero at this point. And the whole world, because of the events in my fan canon, because of the events of the Thunderbolts, people have now forgotten the mutants, and the portals to Krakoa, which already exists in my universe, have been closed, and Kitty Pryde now has to go to Wolverine in order to jog his memory and have him take her to the portals. Because if you don't know this, in the comics, Kitty Pryde is not able to use the portals for some reason. They reveal it later. It's a big nothing burger, but she has to now use the only mutant that's ever been outside the portals in this entire, in my own fan canon. And so she essentially attacks him first, and she has this. There's a really cool fight scene that I have written. I wonder if I can hunt it down in a reasonable amount of time. Yeah, I don't think. Sorry, Senpai. I'm just addressing what you're saying now. I don't know that if it'll be good because of the Punisher. I think the Punisher is just going to be one of the many anti-hero / villains that he's gonna encounter. Because in the trailer, he encounters Boomerang, right? He encounters God, who else? He encounters some other villain that I couldn't recognize, but Scorpion. You know. I did find all my documents, so let's see if I can find the Wolverine one. it sounds good, and I don't want to screw it up, you know, in the retelling. Jesus, I have so many of these things. I just write, you know, I just write. To be quite honest. It might not be this one. It might be my other one. Punisher, low-key good guy. I mean, no. He's an anti-hero. He murdered a bunch of people. In fact, as I believe I said earlier, he's still wanted for like a bunch of murders. I don't know what my password is. Oh, for Christ's sake! It wants me to use my damn phone again. I hate this. I hate Google. I hate having to log in. I hate fucking all these apps. Try to make it seem like they're making things easy on you, but they're super not. Stupid apps. Okay. Dude. Like, review these goddamn things. So stupid. He murdered, but Daredevil didn't turn him in, so he... No, that doesn't make a person good. Jesus, dude. The thing that separates heroes and villains is the willingness to kill, period. In all literature, in all stories. And people get around that a bunch of different ways, but that is plain and simply the difference between a hero and a Wolverine. Or a hero and a villain. Alright, she finds him after being trapped outside Krakoa's portals. This will put him out of sync with the rest of the X-Men, but probably cast him in his early 20s. He can be a fish out of water when he meets the rest of the known X-Men. This can also account for the presence of Old Man Logan during the Secret Wars arc. Kitty in the MCU is what introduces us to modern Wolverine, and Wolverine is who introduces us to the modern X-Men. This will help us catch up with the X-Men while Kitty helps restore Logan's memories, at least enough to remember how to get back to Krakoa. In the Days of Future Past movie, she had the ability to transfer someone's consciousness to a different time, and that's how she plans to return Logan's memories, so that I can actually show this on screen if you want to just follow along. I don't know how boring this will be, but you won't be able to see it in the horizontal view or on Twitch. But you will see it in the vertical view. I think he had right. You had right? What? You think he had right? No, in storytelling, I'm just telling you, in all of storytelling, in all of it, heroes don't kill. Again, there are a lot of heroes in both the MCU as well as just regular Marvel Comics, DC. There are characters in literature that just kind of buck those trends, but the status quo is that what defines a hero is the refusal to kill. So anti-heroes, the very definition of what an anti-hero is, maybe not the dictionary, I don't know what the dictionary definition is, but the very meaning of what an anti-hero is that they give up the ability to be a hero. They are writing off completely the idea of ever being a hero in order to do this thing that needs to be done. Whereas anti-heroes like Deadpool are kind of the reversal of that. They only do good because they're forced to. They're not... Anti-heroes are by their very nature only villains because they don't actively commit crimes in order to enrich themselves. They just kill people who need killing. Those are anti-heroes. And they're not heroes. That's why you're not supposed to see them as heroes. You're supposed to see them as villain adjacent. But that's what I mean. It doesn't matter what his backstory is. He doesn't have to kill. Ghost Rider usually kills demonic entities, but he is himself a spirit of vengeance. So he's not beholden to the same rules that heroes are. Heroes are like people who call themselves heroes or who are referred to as heroes. People only reluctantly refer to Ghost Rider as a hero. And even then, I think he's still more of an anti-hero. I'll even let's ask the Google AI, is Ghost Rider more a hero or anti-hero? Anti-hero. See? And the main thing that differentiates an anti-hero from a hero is that the anti-hero turns off the hero thing. They flip off the switch. They can no longer be called a hero. They are only allowed to be called an anti-hero, and then they go and they kill bad guys. That's the difference. You cannot be a hero if you're an anti-hero. Find a way to establish Wolverine as a drifter. Need a recognizable second banana. He's on drugs, alcohol, off the 70 years of blackout, testing his healing factor. We could get a great feral Wolverine story reference by making him try to cut his own head off with a train, like in the comics. I'm not just pulling that scene out of nowhere. This was in the comics. What about Red Skull? What the fuck about Red Skull? Villain through and through. You think he's in any way a hero or an anti-hero? In the comics, Punisher becomes a cosmic Ghost Rider. In a what if story, yeah. Not canonically. Like in the comic, Kitty Pryde hunts him down. She's the only person he can't accidentally kill in a berserker rage. Good opportunities to cast Kitty and Logan. She's the viewer analog, as all she can really do is phase. When she gets backed into a corner, she can actually use her phasing to temporarily kill Logan. She will have to do this a few times. So, like, she can phase through his brain and, like, turn it to mush, but it still regenerates. It's not, he doesn't just die because she does that. He dies, but it's just her, like, trying to switch off whatever is making him try to kill her. She finds him after being trapped outside. Oh, I already said that. Blah, blah, blah. It's really only his own misremembering of the portal's location that makes him unable to enter the island nation of Krakoa, and the kink in the plan here is that he absolutely does not want to remember his past. Just like in the comics, it's an ongoing narrative that he just doesn't want to remember his past. This is a stark contrast to the former Logan. He hasn't been there, but knows it's open and welcome to all mutants. Charles invited him to come along, but he refused, saying that he had to confront his demons before he can move on and look ahead. He goes off Kerouacking, and the mutants go to Krakoa. He loses his memory to some degree when he's quote-unquote killed, and keeps waking up in a world where the X-Men and Fantastic Four, as well as the Sentry, have been erased from the collective memory of the world, so he never had a reason to think about it. Now that the Sentry and F4 have come back, so have some scattered memories that come through in his dreams. Keep in mind, I don't want Sadie Sink as Kitty Pryde. I prefer Julia Butters or Rowan Blanchard. I don't know those specific actors, but I think, anyone of a Haley Steinfeld vein could easily fit the role. I think she's a great, the younger Hawkeye. I think she's great. She works exactly in that role, but someone like her would be good to play a Kitty Pryde type. Sort of like sassy, but overly confident, almost too confident sort of thing, That'd be cool. My fave in MCU is Punisher or Tony. Well, then I see why you'd try to fight for Punisher being a hero so hard. We all love our personal favorites. And just because he's an anti-hero doesn't mean you can't like him. You can like whoever the fudge you want. This is where we'll get the catch-up moments. We'll see him play through scenes that we've seen in older movies, X1 through 3, as well as anything involving his short appearances in new class and origin storylines. So this is your opportunity, if you're the person who's writing this, to put the new cast, the new person who's cast as Wolverine, into all of these memories that older heads have seen from all the initial movies. That'll not only catch people up, like allow people to see all the moments in the movies that we enjoy, and then have them played with the new character so that you can actually attach them to that new cast member, which would be really cool. I think that would be a really good way to incorporate that, especially if you're doing a multiverse style story. It'd just be like, well, that's how the Wolverine was in this universe. Punisher also defeated Hulk, Wolverine, and Wolverine's son. Oh, I'm sure he did. He's killed the entire Marvel universe at least a couple times. These will play out largely like the moments in the movies they're from, but be completely redone with the new actors that don't have to remain in the roles, just to let us know that it's not the same universe we've seen before. So pretty much like what I said, but in a different, very similar history. We would cover all of the most replayed moments in Logan's life and include some cameos from the most well-liked actors and played previous characters who are either dead or who we know they won't be involved because, or beyond just a short cameo, because of the idea that we want to save money on celebrity and name recognition. Femke Jensen comes to mind. She's down to come back in a cameo, but she doesn't want to be Jean Grey again. Like, that ain't her bag, baby. She's moved on to way different things, okay? It will follow the moments from his childhood, following closely in the comic canon origin we know so far, up to his time in Alpha Flight, and finally the moments that led up to the world forgetting the X-Men. This will be a big twist and a really startling modern catch-up in the same time in the comics in the Fall of X, but it will actually go like this. Fall of X, just about to introduce the world to the X-Men when they are attacked and forced to enter the portals. Then Robert Reynolds' Century, where people forget the Fantastic Four. It's like in the original comics run of the Century, he's arguably just a drunk who starts to sort of like kind of remember that he's a hero. And then he goes on this journey where he tries to find each member of the Avengers, where he like tries to ask what they remember and why they don't remember him. And then he gets to the end and it's all just, oh, well, you made yourself forget because of the void. Very, very, easy and simple. If Null in Sony Universe, then how will Avengers will defeat him? They won't. They won't bring him over. He's too obscure right now for them to connect any stories to him. And they're getting too close to Secret Wars. They're just never going to do that. I think if the MCU did anything with Null, they'd do their own version. So after all that, the energy released from the Forget Ray destabilized the portals to Krakoa, trapping the entire mutant population, and they have no idea what's happening. So they're stuck on the other side. They've been in the MCU this entire time, but the portals are hidden. They have no idea where they are. One would clearly be in New York City. And this is basically like what happened in Fall of X and House and Powers of X and all this kind of stuff, where Charles forced his mutants to go into the portals where they led to sort of like the White Hot Room. They got sent into a blender dimension and ended up in the White Hot Room. Like they're basically all dead. But they're in like the Phoenix afterlife sort of thing. You wouldn't want to do that in the movie. So it would just be that Krakoa is the one that got cut off and Charles led them into Krakoa, yada yada. We'd explain it in the movie. So after the Sentry is defeated and the F4 remembered, the portal lets Kitty Pryde escape, but keeps the others trapped so she can find a way to help them. That's why she has to find Logan. Then after the events here, Logan helps her unlock the portal and gain access to Krakoa. That's sort of just at the end of everything. The exposition is that this should coincide with the end of the multiverse saga, and the reset of the timeline should reboot the portals to Krakoa and the mutants enter our world once again. Everything new, nobody remembers anything, and it's a new day and age. People like Spider-Man, whoever's left, remember the mutants like they were never gone. The idea is that the Scarlet Witch was instrumental in rebuilding the multiverse, but upon being resurrected, she doesn't remember anything, especially her kids. So this coincides with one of the newer storylines where she chooses to forget her role in the House of M and becomes the wife of Doctor Doom. Long story short, and a lot of exposition later, she ends up being a survivor of the collapse of Battleworld, and so things are reset in this new multiverse, and there's a new Darkhold, and Wanda's memories come flooding back. She explodes with rage, sees that mutants are being welcomed into the universe, knowing they weren't there before, but says to herself that she's going to monitor them for the time being. She forms with the new Avengers. This all happened in the comics, by the way. She forms the new Avengers, and using post-credits scenes to build the universe's Illuminati, starting with Doctor Strange from the remaining heroes of the Multiverse Saga, but includes some new faces as well. The Young Avengers. Anyway, whatever. Let's actually get into the Wolverine story, because it's really just the scene that I wanted to talk about. She finds him, tries to convince him to leave Vegas, has to escape Mephisto, which he ends up doing. Blah blah blah. Oh my god, I must have written a bunch of these in a fugue state. Jesus Christ. She makes it to Vegas, Ninja Kitty, possessed by Ogun, highly skilled. I don't even think it's in that one. I think it's in this one. Yep. Okay, so basically what happens here... Sorry, I'll close this. We got it. We found it. Thunderbolts. Movie starts. So the movie starts in white and reduces to the colors of the world that's a bit more naked and new. The camera comes up from the ground showing a costume boot standing on the side of the road. It's a desert, and the only road we can see is long and uninterrupted. What do you think about the Kang storyline? I had a much better ending to it than it got. I'll read that if you want. I wrote that, so I'll read that to you if you'd like after this one. The woman stands there holding a sign in the blistering heat. Her worn and damaged uniform, kind of like a ninja, but with a hooded robe, loosely flowing from her shoulders, says she's some kind of professional at whatever, we can only assume. She's got a couple of knives strapped to her, a 9mm. The camera pans up slowly, showing that she's a real badass. As we reach her face, which is stiff in determination, wearing shades, when she suddenly glitches and falls about 2 feet, phasing directly into the ground beneath her. Huffing in frustration and stepping out and back onto the ground, she hasn't been able to control her powers properly since she almost didn't make it out of the portal when she entered this world. Maybe it's because she's in the quote-unquote wrong universe, or maybe it's just an adjustment period. She steadies herself and goes back to looking badass holding her sign when a car finally starts coming down the road. This is the car she's been waiting for. She's been waiting about 10 miles outside of Vegas for this guy who happens to have a tracker on him, thanks to some sticky-fingered contacts she was able to make back in New York when she phased into the world. Rumors of the man she's been looking for have been sparse, but she was able to find enough info to track him to Canada, from Canada to here, and she's hoping he's exactly who she's thinking he is. Her sign finally revealed, and it says X. And that would be like the title screen of the movie, like zooming in on the X. It would just be that. Wouldn't that be fucking badass? Just X as the title of the movie? I think Loki's chance to glow, and after watching Loki season 1 and 2, yeah, they had the whole Jonathan Majors thing, and what really were they supposed to do at that point? You know, like it's hard to bring it back after that. Recast him, but people don't like recasts. You can say recast all damn day long, but the fans, they don't like recasting. Test audiences, you know. The car has black tinted windows, is old and beat up, and blows by the sign at about 80 miles an hour, but slams on their brakes and fishtails in the middle of the road. This would be right after the opening credits, right after the title shot. The car stops and nothing happens. It's silent. And the woman decides after hesitating to approach the car. So she walks up, tossing the sign aside, rests a hand on her hip, equidistant between the knife and her 9mm, just out of instinct. And as she just about reaches the door, it explodes open, a guttural, bestial roar emitting from the person inside, who has now burst out, sending the door into the woman, knocking her back. His speed was a blur before, but we can see him now. He's not the tallest, but if you were to imagine a man at the peak of his physical condition, he is that. He wears a leather coat, but over a beat-up classic suit. The man lands on top of her, demanding to know how she knows who he is, but deciding he doesn't care, and then thrusting his fist into the car door, us hearing a shink, as we know that the man we now recognize as Wolverine has just popped his claws into the belly of the woman. They could have changed Kang, or just used CGI to make one like Thanos. I mean, I guess. Why do that, though, when you can just pivot to something else? She smiles at the corner of her mouth before rolling and phasing at the same time away from the man, the shifting weight causing him to tumble, enraging him as he uses his now visible claws, long, deadly, shining in the sun, to shred the car door to pieces, telling the woman she owes him a car door. Or rather, she owes the guy he stole it from a door, and rushes at her, but she's quick, and already has her gun up. She slots 2 rounds through each of his eyes. She's an expert marksman. She pumps a few more rounds into him, severing tendons and arteries. He falls as his healing factor is already starting to push the rounds out, and tumbles through the ground past the woman, or tumbles, I guess, over the ground? Past the woman, who takes her knives out and slashes his throat as his eyes start to heal back, and he grips his neck, blood pouring out of the wound as he gargles and reaches futilely for the woman. He falls to the ground, one eye still shot out, gurgling with surprise, but is already almost fully healed again as he gets up to turn to the woman who's already rushing him. He sends both his claws forward to catch her before she gets to him, but she's already phasing and steps down into the earth, but as she jumps fully out of view, uses her powers to make one of her knives briefly tangible to catch Logan's Achilles tendons, severing them and crippling Logan, however, briefly. He screams out in pain as she phases back in and stumbles to his feet, his healing factor already taking care of his wounds. She puts her guns and knives away and holds out her hands to tell him to stop, and makes it clear they can't kill each other. And this surprises him. He's still very angry, but he wants to know how she knew this stuff wouldn't kill him, referring to the injuries he just sustained but are almost invisible now. The woman responds coldly. Honestly, she has no idea, but the Logan she knew had the healing factor, so she makes a point that he can't hurt her, and she's basically there to help him. She's got to get back home and got to get the mutants back to Earth, because for some reason or another, nobody remembers them. So yeah, I think that's a pretty badass fight scene. It would be pretty cool to be able to do. Sorry it took so long to get there. But yeah, I mean, I got scripts for everything, man. I've got one for the sequel to my own Doom thing. So imagine this. All right. So the Kang Dynasty in my thing would basically have been a long, like, 2-hour anime battle, essentially. Thanos was not a villain. Yeah, he was. He killed half of all life in the universe. That definitely counts as murder. So basically, the comic book Only Myself Left to Conquer was about how young Kang was more or less abducted by older version of Kang in order to show him that, like, create a defensive causal loop so that he couldn't not exist. And he goes on this whole, like, you know, it's a whole philosophical thing about how they, you know, he's always going to be Kang no matter what, yada yada, blah blah blah. In the end, stop. Sorry, I have to yell at her basically to get her to stop bugging me. It's not food time. Sorry. He did it for the good of the universe. Doesn't matter what the intent was. Hardest decisions, the populations weren't doing anything. It was absolutely not needed to kill half the universe. There was no overpopulation going on. Don't Hassan your dogs. I don't. They don't have shot collars, but you do need to yell at your dogs sometimes. If you've never had dogs, you probably don't know that. Where is it? Swallowing lab as things tumble in. You bastard, shouts old Kang, explaining the portal's unstable, meaning that Doom intends to confuse and displace them before starting the fight. Screen whites out and Nate is lying in a void. As Doom stalks toward him, he says that he had a chance, that he could have saved him. Nate says, by what? Erasing my mind? And Doom replies with, and replacing it with my superior will, and uses both hands to bring down onto Nate, discharging an immense amount of power. The force of the blast shattering the mental platform, not really their glass floor they were on. It's basically in like a astral realm or whatever, causing everyone to fall freely through the time stream. The screen cuts back to Nate, and he's somehow still alive, as the camera pans slowly out, revealing that the Stark variant has used a Captain America shield to absorb the blast. This actually is my pick for a black Tony Stark, who ends up being... My casting pick was... oh, fuck, who's that one dude? I lost his name. Dion... I think it's Dion something. He would make a really good Tony. Jumping away to avoid follow-up from Doom, porting out, tossing a new broken and burnt shield aside. Or the now broken and burnt shield aside. He's going to be the biggest problem for Doom. He's got MacGuffins galore. As they tumble through the time stream, they exchange blows. Kang's diving in and out of the portal, stealing portions of Doom's armor. When it's almost entirely gone, they open a portal to cut him off, and they all tumble through. This is the final battlefield. It's the void at the end of time, or a very similar void. Kang's blasting, Doom's blasting, Kang is Stark. It's revealed in my movie that Stark is actually just a descendant or variant of Kang. Stark Kang is zipping in and out, employing obscure doomsday devices we've seen throughout the comic history. He does a bit of a monologue about how it was people like Doom that destroyed his world, that he's the only one left, which is why he has all this stuff, and that his mistake was standing aside and letting it happen. So this is a redemption arc for the disillusioned, this version of Tony Stark. Doom pulls his trump card, and as all the remaining Kangs start to come through the portals to finish him, he reveals that this is what he was waiting for, using some magic, and forces the portals closed, cutting most of the Kangs in half, killing them instantly. He says something about this being exactly what he had planned for, but Old Kang uses this distraction to impale Stark Kang through the chest with a spear, like a MacGuffin 1, Eternal, or Chitauri, or whatever, saying that this is what he was planning on as well, as visible tendrils of immense power start to unfurl both Nate and Old Kang. They are the only two left, and now the entirety of Kang's mental power and tech is now split between Nate and Kang yells now, and they both ruthlessly attack Doom, pulling weapons out of portals, using their suits to create tech, and of course their fists to pummel the man as he manages to skillfully defend himself. But some blows on either side do land, and the battle is long, and fatigue sets in. Doom gets the upper hand and sends Nate flying so hard with magic that he shatters through dimensions for only the most brief second, getting a view of the hell-like dimension where a pair of eyes moves into view before the hole repairs itself. Nate flowing in and out of consciousness and just not noticing. So it's like they're in this not spectral, they're in this like almost like how the Bifrost looks in the MCU. They're in this like scrolling light show, essentially having this battle, and they're all like porting in and out of different portals. They're in the time stream, and Doom like hits Nate so hard. Nate is the younger Kang. Doom hits Nate so hard, also known as Iron Lad, that he hits the wall of the time stream, and you see a hell dimension. Some eyes peer out, and then it comes back, and then he resumes the battle again. The two older men struggle and fire beams against beams, the old trope. Kang screams to Nate, trying to rouse him to finish the embattled Doom, and Doom simply gives him the side-eye. He says very calmly that he can still choose his fate and removes his mask, looking at the kid. Nate gasps as his mask pulls away, revealing that they both now have the same scar on their faces. He leaps to end things, but we aren't told explicitly what he's chosen, as an even bigger blast of white-hot energy shoots into the middle of the beams and sends the entire landscape outward in an epic scene. So at this moment, they're doing the beam against beam, right? The big trope in like all the hero movies. Beam against beam. All of a sudden, as Nate like leaps to go attack Doom, another beam from a source that we don't see comes down and makes the beams explode. And now it's white hot energy. Nobody knows what's going on. Everyone is just thrown in separate directions. The men laying apart, breathing heavily in the smoking crater. Now the music starts. A dark, booming, perverted version of the Avengers theme. We'll just say twisted instead of perverted. Twisted version of the Avengers theme, more akin to a horror movie. This is bad. We hear the repulsor tech of Iron Man. We see the tips of armored feet descending into view, like the reverse evil version of the descent of Superman onto the doting crowd desperate to receive him. The camera follows the tips of the boots as this person descends, and we see a single shining stone fall, followed by a green one, and then a blue one, and then more and more, while a man starts to speak. It's Tony fucking Stark, RDJ, and he's doing the talk he had with Banner in the Age of Ultron, where he talks about a suit of armor around the world, but expands that thought to the universe. And if not the universe, why not the multiverse? A voice in Tony's ears tells him to eliminate both Doom and the Variant, which he does. Just in unceremonious, just blasts them and vaporizes them instantly. Ultron helped him realize a few things after the Avengers failed to stop Thanos on his world. He did everything he could to make sure nobody could hurt this world. Then Strange came along and got the Illuminati killed, plus a bunch of his property, his facility, and an adjacent universe. Then the X-Men came for revenge. Then he just lists things that happened. This is the 838 Tony from Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness coming back for revenge. Letting on that he's the demon in the bottle Tony, drunk, hopped up on power, lost Pepper, and he even whispers Morgan as his suit's nanoparticles literally start dripping with infinity gems. There's a growing pile of them forming on the floor as he floats down painfully slow. He says he can protect everyone, bring them to order, bring them back in a new world, a world he can keep under his control, embattled in eternal conflict to keep everyone focused on protection, protecting everything. A battle world. And his gauntlets both melt away, revealing two infinity gauntlets, both fully gemmed, with the 10 rings, the Kree bands, all completely encrusted with infinity gems. He floats forward, the colors of the now flooding from him gems, all glowing in order as he talks about reality and time and power. He even wistfully muses about the soul. He talks about how after this world was murdered, he sought out the only thing that ever given him purpose, protecting. And what better instrument to use than the things that obsessed him for so long? He's clearly unhinged. He looks at Kang and says, "Hi, not my Kang," and sends a power stone hurtling through his chest, starting a slow burn that will absolutely kill him. Doom uses the opportunity to do a sneak attack, but Tony gestures with his hand and compresses Doom into nothing, killing him instantly. He looms over Nate menacingly as he snaps his fingers, surging with ultimate godly power as everything whites out, a perverse mirror of the end of Infinity War with the birth of something new, contrasting the original snap, and fade to white, contrasting the fade to black with the to be continued in the middle. And then that's it. The screen goes dark and the credits roll. I think mine ended better than the than the end of whatever Kang Dynasty turned into would have. But I don't know. We don't know. We haven't seen Doomsday yet, so I don't know. I like my version. And then the post-credit, young Kang tumbles out, disoriented again, still wearing his Iron Man armor, and shakes himself off. The Young Avengers, Cassie Lang, Miss Marvel, Kate Bishop, and whoever else arrive to meet him, ask the whole who goes there thing. Kang introduces himself as Nate, and they make a comment that he looks like Iron Man, and because he's young, they say, well, yeah, more like Iron Lad, and invite him to come along, welcoming Nate to the weirdness and capping off the team of new Avengers. They all walk into Battleworld proper to fight in the Secret Wars. I think that's fun. Anywho, yeah, I don't know why we started on this. Oh, Kitty Pryde. Kitty Pryde being the first mutant would have been really cool. And only the way that I wrote her. Nobody else is allowed. Let's continue on.
Excuse me, Dr. Banner. I need your help.
What did you say your name was?
There he is. The man, the myth, the legend. Dr. Bruce Banner himself. Clearly doesn't remember, because of the spell. And we're going to see him Hulk out. There's no way. I mean, I get the feeling that he will probably, in Man Spider mode, might get the better of Sadie Sink and the Punisher, because they're rumored to have a fight scene between all of them. I'm guessing that, they'll end up, how are we ever going to stop this Man Spider? And he'll be able to Hulk out and take him down. That's just a guess. I don't know that for sure. But see, clearly, ironically, my favorite strain is called Bruce Banner. Oh, yeah? That's like OG. That's like some classic shit, man. That's like some Gary Payton shit. So it's just like Spider-Man, the Raimi Spider-Man where he's like getting all like, oh, there's like crazy stuff going on. I can see a fly really closely and I'm like spider sensing all kinds of crazy shit.
DNA is mutating. It would be enormously dangerous.
So you see, he even still has that moment where he's testing out his organic webbing.
Dangerous.
See, and it's all like springy, like just like in both the PS game as well as in the original movie where he was able to like launch himself slingshot style.
Dangerous.
Spiders have 3 life cycles.
So if you don't recognize that voice, it's the president from Rick and Morty, who is also the drug dealer from Requiem for a Dream, who's the guy that says, "I didn't take it out for air."
When between cycles, it can
Now,
make the spider vulnerable to...
Who's that? Who the fuck is that? This is the biggest mystery of the trailer. Who the fuck is that? We don't know. I don't know for sure. And I've got pretty good, mind skills. Shut up. Jesus, when did we get to the end of the Bossa Nova background music? It started at the end of... It's like 3 hours long. I was like, what?
threats.
So yeah, who that could be is really more down to like Jean Grey. It could have just been somebody that she was taking the mind of, and like they thought, oh, like we need to capture or detain this woman. I don't know what the circumstances are, but the truck was running away from Spider-Man and he was chasing after it. I'm guessing maybe she stole the truck?
To threats.
Because it doesn't look like she's...
It can leave the spider vulnerable to threats.
It doesn't look like she's in there with anybody else, right? Like it's turned on its side. And I don't think we saw anybody else. See if we can see
Spider-Man.
No, it's just a chain gun shooting at him. There's no evidence that we see who is driving the truck. But if it's this old lady, then it's really just likely that Jean Grey was like,
have 3 life cycles.
this is Sadie Sink, is my guess. And she's in a lab being studied. I'm guessing that he finds himself in a similar facility or something, like trying to find out what's going on with his spider powers. But I mean, it's clear that she lives in this cell. You know, there's a bed, a desk for her to work on, the boots that tell me this is like teenage rebel Jean Grey. Teenage rebel style Jean Grey. Because she's got all kinds of, like, you know, modern, like, records. Modern stuff.
When between cycles, it can leave the spider vulnerable to threats.
We are faced with a danger that we can't control.
That's... Do you hear that edit? Who's Bill?
We are faced with a danger that we can't control.
Do you hear that edit? We are faced with a danger. What was that for?
We are faced with a danger.
Do you hear that? And who's Bill? Who the fuck is Bill?
That we can't control.
And so I think that's Jean Grey jumping from mind to mind.
We can't even see.
Who's Bill? Why does he get a named credit? And yet the other guy only got a narrator credit. What are they trying to hide? This is clearly going to end up being Sadie's. No. This could be Scorpion or Boomerang. This could be any of the other heroes. Scorpion, obviously Michael Mando. I mean, we all know that this he's going to be badass as a Scorpion. I mean, come on.
My way.
I don't think anybody's confused about that.
You're losing it, kid.
And for those spiders who make it through, it amounts to a kind of...
Who is that? Okay, so who is this? He's got blades on his feet. So I'm guessing Batroc the Leaper. This also, I think, looks like his outfit. Let me see if I can pull it up. I mean, that's like... It's like he leveled up. You know? I mean, that's essentially his same uniform. So, don't at me. I don't know if he's been rumored to be in this particular movie. But that's my guess. If you've got other guesses, let me know. Do you know who's this? Do you know who's this? Villain in Brand New Day trailer, blades on feet. I'm just seeing if any other sources have who it might be. Show me your secrets. Badabadee, badabadoo, badabadap, badabadabadabadap. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Tarantula. Could be Tarantula. And apparently this is like this shot is a take on an existing cover that was Tarantula's first appearance. So there you go. So potentially Tarantula. The Hand, for some reason, after they've kicked the shit out of Spider-Man, seemingly. And you see the eyes. So, Man-Spider, right? And again, Man-Spider feels like a little bit of a lot. I think they're probably going to do well with it, but it's a lot. I don't understand it. I don't know why, but I think it'll probably make sense once you see the movie. Who is this? Presumably that's either the person in charge or the person who's leading them. Because if you didn't see the Defenders series, they're all dead. All the leaders except Madame Gao. Madame Gao, like, she's definitely not that person, unless she like went into an anti-aging booth. You know, like, and she went to Kunlun. Like, that's all gone. That's all done. You know, I don't think. I just don't think that the Hand really needs to be in this movie. I don't know.
Nice flowers.
Oh, they're a housewarming gift.
I'm MJ.
I'm just a neighbor from across the hall.
Friendly neighbor.
And then that's just dumb. Like, I don't like that. It's like, whatever. If you're into that, you can like it. The joke is dumb. I also don't like that they're trying to bring them back into his life so soon. That, like, as I said before, it completely just invalidates the end of the last movie. Like, you're supposed to feel emotionally, you know, like you're being isolated, right? But I guess not. So let's see. You can see that there's like nods to Superior Spider-Man here, but I don't think that these are in any way telling of any specific thing. Superior strength, superior agility, superior senses, Vigil 9, unidentified, enhanced operative, threat level, agility enhanced, non-lethal profile, last known activity, urban traversal via synthetic filament, visual lock acquired. Let's see. So maybe they've captured him. Operation, what does that say? Agony? And this looks like the same sort of setup that they were in, or that Sadie Sink's character was in.
Excuse me, Dr. Banner. I need your... Excuse me, Dr. Banner.
It looks like Agony. It looks like Agony. I'm not sure. Or maybe it's just a series of characters, like AGY or something, you know, like, I don't know. But I'm not seeing much else.
Excuse me, Dr. Banner. I need your help.
What did you say your name was? If DNA is mutating, it's going to be enormously...
Yeah. So there you go. That's the Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer. I think it's going to be good. All the other Spider-Man movies have been good. I don't see any reason for this one not to be good. I think it's going to be good. I'm concerned that there's just so much going on in it. But again, I don't think that that's going to really hurt it too much, it'll just hurt my interest in it. You know, like, I'm not going to not see it. I will definitely see it. But I think I'm going to feel the same way that I felt about the last one, that it was just too busy. And obviously, they're making movies right now to sort of adhere to the emerging reduced attention spans of kids these days. So I get it. You know, you need to be like getting whiplash in order to stay entertaining. So I mean, the MCU, or at least people who write things for the MCU, have kind of like figured that out. But for me, you know, like I just want a more intimate story. I want, like, I don't know. I want a real good back and forth with a villain repartee sort of, you know, I've got you in my lair and now there's nothing you can do about it sort of thing. You know? I don't know. Maybe in the future we'll get something like that, but we'll see. I mean, John Watts didn't want to finish out, or didn't want to do another trilogy, didn't want to do another, like, you know, movies, I guess. So it makes sense. I empathize with the man. Probably, you know, you get over it at some point. But there it is. I am going to take this opportunity to very quickly go and drop some food in my dog's bowls, and then I will be back. I will be BRB. Is this the BRB one? There it is. There's the BRB. Oh, no. Come back now. There you go, BRB. And then I will also put it on the... Put it there so you guys know to BRB. All right, I'm going to BRB. Also, you know, just... You can BRB too. Go do your thing. Okay. Ooh, what? Skippy. What the fudge are you talking about? Oh, Skippy. All right, let's, I gotta change the titles here real quick. Now we are going into Kitchen Nightmares. We're gonna talk about how Kitchen Nightmares is fake. So I gotta put a new title in there. Mostly. All right. Shablam. Shablama-lama. Is there like a food? There's no food. It's just, I guess. What would it be? Would it be education? Whatever. Anywho, all right, let's take a look. Kitchen Nightmares has like so much content on here. It really is not going to be hard to find. We'll mainly just react to the stuff on the main channel itself. And if you guys aren't aware, by the way, if you're just joining, hi, I'm Goose. What's up? If you don't know anything about me, one thing that you should know in preparation for watching this is that I am a seasoned chef. Did you see what I did there? Did you see what I did there? Did you see what I did there? Did you see that joke? Tell me if you like that joke. If you like jokes like that, like and subscribe. Ooh, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. It was a pretty bad joke, but I stand by it. So we're gonna watch full episodes, and I'm gonna obviously like pause and skip through it just so I don't trigger the old copyright function. But my exact experience.
Lancaster.
Shut up. Is in essentially telling people where they're messing up and where they could stand to improve things. And my emphasis is almost entirely on food. So that kind of gives you the impression that I might be uniquely qualified to potentially talk about these particular issues. And I have at a number of different times wanted to do this kind of stuff on the stream, but just haven't really. I don't know. Other stuff seems to be, doing well enough, so I haven't really felt the need. But I do want to steer away from like religious and political content, and I would like to do more just fun, like game related and entertainment related content. Oh, let me open the door real quick. No, I already did. Nope. She wants food. She wants more food. Don't know why she wants more food. But yeah, if you guys, if you would like to do the whole like and subscribe and all that, that would be really cool. But I do plan on doing this again. Gosh darn it. I really should just log into all of my stuff before I come on here. Oh my god, it's making me do like I don't even sign up for these 2-stage verification things. Jeez. Gotta adjust my title in here. Stream manager. Oh, stop. Come on. Stream information. There we go. All right. Kitchen Nightmares is fake, mostly. Chef reacts. All right, and then I'll put it on the food and drink category. There we go. Perfect. All right. So, if you aren't familiar, Kitchen Nightmares is a show where Gordon Ramsay, a famous, I guess, chef, we can debate his qualifications if you want, but I don't believe that he is what most chefs would refer to as a chef. But that's just splitting hairs. In the dictionary, the meaning of the word chef means a person who cooks. So it's really could mean anything. But to me, who's been a chef for I don't know, god awful amount of time, it's important. If it's an important distinction between chef and cook, and he's really more of a talent scout than he is a chef. Again, we can get into that, later on if you want, but not really worth it right now. We're just trying to deal with this. So I'm gonna do one of his like regular. I mean, like, I don't know. I'm gonna see if I can find one of his new episodes, but because the reason why again we're doing this is because the show has come back. We don't know how, but Ramsay returned, and we're gonna break it down mostly just from my experience with TV, food, restaurant, chef, I guess, productions. I know a little bit, but I know mostly about consulting and being the person that tells the person whose business is failing how to fix their business. And so I come at it from more that perspective. But as far as the media is concerned, there's quite a lot of like sensationalizing and even planting of things. They regularly like put out ads to get people to show up to these places, typically with like people who review food, and not like not like actual food reviewers, but like people on Yelp who review food. You know what I mean? Like they'll invite those types, the really opinionated types, but who don't know much about food. And they'll like ask them to be totally like unrestricted in their judgments and commentary and shit. So you get a lot of people who are like just talking endless amounts of shit, even if the food might be good. So here we go.
California, 70 miles north of Los Angeles, is home to Casa Roma, the oldest restaurant in the city.
How's your pizza, guys?
In spite of having absolutely no restaurant experience, Nyla and her son Jeremy bought this failing landmark restaurant with the hope of turning it around.
The first thing I'll say is that if you engage in turnkey operations, you need to it's not on the person who owns the failing business to make sure that you know that it's failing. It's on you to make sure that you know that you can make it unfail. And I think that one example locally in my city, Portland, where we're going through a bit of a resurgence of businesses. One example is of a place that I saw that went into an old brewery, and they say that they're going to be a brewery. I don't know how to tell you this, but if you're looking to start a small business and the business that was there before you failed, and you may or may not know the reason why they failed, but if they're doing the same concept that you plan to do, I would think twice about doing that concept. It's there, it was what you are, and it failed for a reason. So chances are either there's not enough foot traffic, you don't have like a good enough access to main roads, something happened along the way that made that place not viable for what they were doing, and you're going to go in there and do the same exact thing. I would think twice. If you have a tap house in mind and the place that you are looking at was a tap house, I'd find a different space, or I wouldn't own a tap house. Those are two choices that you can make that would mitigate some early concern of failure. But if you are just looking to try and buy a restaurant because you think you can bring it back from the brink, there's not a whole lot of things that you might be, unless you're qualified, unless you're like, if you've been consulting or if you've been working in the restaurant business for a long time, there's no way that you're going to bring them back from a situation where they were going to pull themselves out of. Like, that's just not going to happen. No, Fararkles, interesting username. No, this is Kitchen Nightmares. But yeah, you want to be very, very careful when you're trying to do a turnkey concept if the business is failing and you don't have much restaurant experience. Especially because I think a lot of the times what happens is these places, they start to go under and then they'll sell themselves to like either family members or family friends or people who just aren't involved in any way with any of this, thinking, oh, we'll keep it close, we'll keep it within the family, and I'll be able to contribute, I'll be able to help them. But if you weren't able to keep the restaurant going, they're not going to be able to keep the restaurant going without some new insight. So you want to try and make sure, again, if you're trying to keep a place open that's actively failing, you want to make sure that you already have a game plan in mind, or that you have plenty of experience where you can just hit the ground running and just keep it going. These people have zero restaurant experience, and they're just hoping that it's going to come back from the brink. That doesn't happen. It never happens.
2.5 years.
Places, and the reason being for a couple of different reasons. It could be because they have let it fail for so long that they're now down to bedrock. They have zero cushion, and there's just no way that you're ever going to get out from under your debts. It's typically due to crushing debt. I would say if you're starting a restaurant, try to err on the side of only ever paying for things. Never, because they'll try to get you, like companies like Cisco and companies like Unify, if you're trying to open a retail establishment, any of those food shipment programs, they will try to get you to sign up on credit first. And I would say don't ever do that. Only ever buy things you know you can afford.
Years ago, I was in real estate. I was sitting around.
And now the big fucking, this is a huge red flag. If somebody's in real estate, they're just buying up properties they think they can make money off of. That's all it is. So even if this place fails, she can sell it and run it. She can run it into the ground, and then she can sell the property for build it spec or whatever.
Looking at business opportunities, and I found Casa Roma. I talked to my
right. So she's looking to diversify her portfolio. I would say, if you are a restaurant owner and you're looking to sell your business, look for. I don't mean to categorize, but there's demographics involved in this. But look for lady real estate agents. Look for I would say foreign business advocates. But on my side, on the consumer side, I don't think it's a good idea to buy a business from someone who's just looking to turn a profit. Like, that's big red flag.
Son into getting in with me, and had we had known the restaurant business very well, we probably wouldn't have done it. We got it.
And there you go. That's the conclusion that a lot of people come to, is that, and this is the reason why 2 out of 3 restaurants fail in the first 5 years. 3 out of 5 fail in the first year. Like, it is a tough industry. It operates almost exactly the opposite of how any other business works. It is almost entirely staff driven. It is almost entirely dependent on the people who come through the doors rather than you putting yourself out there. There is marketing involved, but it is very minimal. It really is word of mouth, and it's who likes you. So if you're good at what you do and you are able to share your successes with the general public, you're probably going to get a decent customer base. But you have to do all the work that's involved in order to get there in the first place, in order to have the customer base that you're going to be able to wow with all of your cool restaurant's food skills.
Get this place turned soon.
Me and my mom thought we were buying a restaurant with a bar attached to it.
You guys want to sit in the dining room, or are you gonna go to the bar? Okay.
But really, it just was a bar with a restaurant attached to it.
My bar does all my business.
Which is fine. A bar should do, if you have a restaurant that has a full bar, it should do about 45% of your business. It shouldn't do the majority, because you're a restaurant. If you are a bar that just serves food, then sure. Absolutely. But booze, and I mean profit. Booze accounts for 45 to 65% of your overall business's income, and that's net income. That's not gross income. Gross income, it's a decent tug of war between, like, whatever your wine service is, whatever your drink service is, and then your food service. But it mostly comes from things like margin blends, putting the right desserts on, putting the right salads on, having the real the carriers of the burden, if you will, on the menu.
Like 2 different countries. Our bar is always packed, and the
Purgatory kitchen, I don't know what that is. Oh, like a kitchen in the middle of everything is really the only thing I can extrapolate from that meaning.
the restaurant sits empty. In food on a good night, I'm making $170 $75. On a slow night, I'm making $9.
I just asked you if you wanted your fucking drama. That's bullshit and you know it.
We've had almost 20 chefs over the last 2.5 years, but I've had Drew for a year and Eric for almost 6 months.
Even just saying something like that in the course of business while you know you're being taped means that you have a huge professionalism problem. That guy would have been gone immediately. If I had heard any of that conduct, like I just gone. Just nope, sorry. You are my biggest problem. What's wrong with since she's getting more comfortable with the puppy, she's more comfortable. She's now more comfortable, like, being obnoxious and being angry. Yeesh. Yeah, let's end the poll. Let's start a new poll. Guys, engage with the poll. We were able to determine that Spider-Man is going to be a good movie through the poll alone, all right? That's canon. That means you can't argue with it. It's going to be good no matter what. That's just the nature of reality, all right? Let's do a new poll. Is kitchen nightmares, we'll say, totally legit or super fake, duder? Start a new poll. If the all of two of you who are in the chat could weigh in, I would appreciate it. But yeah, he would have been gone. Goose could save this kitchen. You're darn right I could. I pride myself on being able to at least prop up a business to be able to save itself. And all I really do is I just tell people what they're doing that they need to improve on, and then I help them do that. And I set it up for them so that they can do it on autopilot when they're gone. And then they don't. Then they don't do it, and a lot of them end up failing anyway. But you know, I got my paycheck. It's unfortunate, and I stay with places enough to know that they can, like, fly on their own if they choose. But they often, you know, just don't. Which is like, you know, what can I do beyond that? Beyond helping them? Not a whole lot you can do there, Sonny Jim. Let's make this a little more efficient on the vertical display, guys. By the way, thank you for joining. If you're here and you're hanging out, we do this 4 days a week, and we hang out and we react to videos, and you know that old chestnut, You know how it goes. Ooh, that's a good view right there. There we go. Perfect. If you're watching on the vertical view, you're probably seeing it in a bit more of a crunched manner. You can feel free to go to the channel, see the horizontal view if you'd like.
Eric's a huge reason why Castro isn't doing well.
Not one table's had their food yet.
He lacks getting the food out in a timely fashion. And his...
So a thing that I will absolutely advocate for is quick ticket times. Fuck's sake, man. I don't know why we got into this. It's been social media that caused this, but I don't know how we got into this type of culture where we're waiting 40 minutes for a fucking burger. Like, that's what it's like in Portland. I don't know what it's like elsewhere, but holy shit. It is like they get the order and then they fuck around for 15 minutes before they even start. At least most places around here. And there's a unique thing to Portland restaurants where managers, by and large, will just tell you what. There's a weird pause in the music. Where managers will really just tell you to like, do your best, and it doesn't matter as long as it gets out. Doesn't matter what the time is as long as it gets out. That's fine in an otherwise okay performing kitchen, But if you look, like if you go to the fancier restaurants around town and you see people busting their fucking asses, like trying to get one plate out, then that's the example that you should follow. It just feels like if you see people like just all the time, like just going, then that's the top tier, right? And cooks, where I come from, they aspire to be better, if not as good as the best cooks in their region. And like, so it baffles me when you see guys like going like, what can I do? Oh yeah, I'll get, okay, I'm sauteing. Okay, I'm gonna drop these fries, okay. Like every single cart that I've ever eaten at in Portland, it's no less than a 20-minute wait. So against the whole idea of carts. I had a truck that I was operating, and we did an event called Off the Grid in San Francisco, and we were doing really simple shit. It was like, I think we had a taco on the menu, we had a egg roll on the menu, and we had a maybe like a banh mi or something like that. Oh no, it was a breakfast sandwich. Those are the only three things we served. We were able to serve 750 people in, I think, 2 hours, 2.5 hours, something like that. That's a lot. That's a lot of people. And we still served hundreds more that night. But by the time I was done with my shift, that was how many we were at. And we stayed like 3 more hours that night. There's a fancy restaurant near me called Montasia. It took 1 hour and 15 minutes to get my order out to me. Yeah, that's bad. So at a fancy restaurant, the pacing is way different at a fancy restaurant than it is if you're out like getting something from a cart. Getting something from a cart, it's supposed to be taco truck speed. It's supposed to be very, very quick. You're supposed to get your meal in like 5 minutes or less. Like that is the ideal. Like you got to have shit prepped, and you got to make sure that you're doing a concept that will allow you to do that. Because typically customers are outside. They're in the elements. They're not under a pergola. They're not under a roof. They're under your awning, which is like 2 feet long. And they've got to wait for it. Then they've possibly got to eat it, right then and there. They're not all just going to be takeaway orders. So you don't know. Like, whereas fancy restaurants, you get cocktails first. And people who are fancy, they still follow these rules. You get your cocktails first. You hang out. You have a conversation. You share an appetizer. Maybe you get a little bit of bread. And you just chill. You're hanging out. Then maybe they're going to come up to you and they're going to get your order for dinner, and you're going to casually order some whatever courses, maybe some dessert, something like that. It'll come out relaxedly because the rest of the restaurant is all waiting on their food too. It may take a little while, not an hour and a half or an hour and 15 minutes, but you get what I'm saying. Like, there should be a little bit of a wait time at a fancier restaurant because there's more people there, because it's more popular, and because it's harder to get into. Some of that manufactured scarcity, or that manufactured imperative, that sense of increased exclusivity, that's all like honey to a restaurant. That's all like gravy. They want that. They want you to be like, oh yeah, man, like it was such a relaxed, like crazy, like a really concise, like really like refined experience. I felt it was an experience, whereas most restaurants don't result in me feeling like I've had an experience. I just ate food.
Food is very bland.
It's dry.
I lost my appetite.
I'm gonna need 5.
So these people that they're interviewing here, so they have people come out twice. They have people come out for the, or maybe 3 times. They have people come out for the initial assessment where they give their opinion and they say like, I didn't like it. It was gross. Their whole thing is talking about how gross the food is. They need to do that. It's manufactured. They don't say like, hey, can you give your honest opinion about the food? They say, tell me how gross that food was. It was really terrible, wasn't it? Give me all the worst things that you can think of about that food, and just be honest and be thorough. They don't, they're not actually getting like a real opinion from them. They're getting the worst opinion they can find.
Chicken breast. I'm good at this. I'm good at it.
Flames in the pan is fancy to see.
I'm gonna need 5.
So I mean, this actually, this doesn't look too bad.
And Eric,
I'll show you.
Eric's a huge reason why Custom isn't doing well.
Not one table's had their food yet.
He lacks getting the food out.
Also, I'm going to go out on a limb here. And I'm going to say even some of the chefs were hired at some point as actors. Like, not actors, but like, I think even some of the people that work there are plants from Fox.
A timely fashion.
That's a conspiracy theory. I can't confirm
and
that.
His food is very bland.
It's dry.
So that, I mean, I guess you could say it's dry. It doesn't look terrible. It doesn't look good. It just looks like a really, really simple pasta. A little too simple, perhaps, for charging whatever you charge. I'm guessing maybe like 20 bucks a plate, something like that.
I lost my appetite.
I'm gonna need 5 chicken breasts.
The thing that I think is really, really funny about this guy. So you see the, I don't know if you can see the letters on his chef jacket. It says Eric something CWC. I don't know what the W is, but certified chef. That's what C anything C on a chef jacket mean. It means that you're a certified chef. I'm not gonna guess. Maybe W like Western or W like wise ass or certified something chef. And that's really common for a lot of people to put on their jackets to reassure people that they're certified. I'm a certified chef. It means nothing. You could have gone to school for it and you might never wear an embossed jacket that has something. Real chefs that don't operate on ego alone, typically will just wear the same thing their cooks wear. They generally don't feel the need to market themselves to. Who the fuck are you going to market yourself to if you're not just out in the lobby all the time touching tables? If you're out in the lobby all the time, if you're out in the lobby all the time touching tables, you're not back in the kitchen doing the work. So, yeah, my guess is certified something chef, and he's probably real proud of it. Actually, a lot of these people, I know this firsthand, a lot of these people actually wait to get these. They don't get these embossed or personalized jackets until like right before the taping, which is hilarious because it's like, you wanted to look that pretentious, like for a show where he's gonna be like tearing you a new one specifically.
Chicken breast. I'm good at this. I'm good at it. Do I make it look fancy? Can I put pine trees and stuff? That's not what I do.
Plant trees?
I make the food taste good, it's presentable, and it's like, shit, that's pretty damn good.
Eric and I do not get along in the kitchen because he doesn't produce very well, and he expects me to do everything.
So another thing that is a bit of a trope for Kitchen Nightmares is that they always have the sous chef being like the enemy of the chef. Like the sous chef is always the guy that's like, all right, well, you've got to step up and you've got to take the chef's place because he's obviously not very good at what he does. First of all, if I was a sous chef in that position, I'd be like, no, you better get another chef. No, thank you. Absolutely not. Sous chefs are not chefs. Why is that? Someone in the chat, it looks like there's 0 of you in the vertical feed right now, but if anyone else in my other chats, would you like to just tell me why you think that a sous chef is not a chef? Why do you think a sous chef is not a chef? Why do you think a sous chef, anyone in the position sous chef, is not a chef at that point? Why do you think so? Why do you think that is? I bet you it's really easy. It's a really easy answer. I bet you most of you could guess it. Very, very easy. Just throw it out. Any old answer. I'll wait. Any answer. Why do you think a sous chef is not at that point a chef? Really, really, really easy. It's almost like if you were suddenly promoted to the manager position at your job for no reason. Why would that be a problem? Just anyone in my chat, I'm willing to listen to any take, anything. Why would a sous chef not be a chef in this? At the same time, why would he not just instantly become a chef? Any guesses? While you guys are deliberating, I'm gonna build a bowl, so don't mind me.
Every fucking one of my pants right now.
We totally are in dire need of Chef Ramsay's help because there's something that's got to be turned around about this place because it definitely is a nightmare.
If I closed down, I don't know what I would do. I raised 4 boys, and
She's in real estate. She'll be fine. She's not. the people in the BBC version of the show were struggling. Like, they were financially struggling. They were going to lose everything. They were going to lose their house. They were going to lose their marriages. They were going to lose, like, yeah. Like, they had real stakes that they were worried about. And in this one, it's like a 43-year-old, very successful real estate agent. I'm not saying she's 43. I think she's much older than that. A real estate agent is, you know, going to lose their restaurant. I'm sure they still have other properties that they can fall back on. I'm sure that they, you know, I don't think she doesn't look too concerned. I would be weepy if my restaurant was going under, even on TV.
And ran a home my whole life.
See? Now, we're stumbling into some potential misogyny here. I don't think that I am in any way superior to any woman who runs a business. But there is a very specific demographic of women who sometimes, due to boredom, will go into real estate because I think some women see it as, and it is a characteristic woman thing, because in communities of tightly knit women who pass around opportunities and news all the time, this is a trope that is very endlessly bandied about. And it's that real estate is an easy career to get into. And so if you are, let's say, a stay-at-home mother and you don't really have a lot of experience in something other than managing the home for the amount of time that you've been doing it, there's very few things that you think you may qualify for other than real estate. And so a lot of either, you know, older women or women whose kids have left and they're now looking for something to do will go into real estate and become real estate agents. It's also a trope that a lot of gay men become real estate agents. You know, that's not something that I am saying. Those are just some statistics. In general, I have read some quotes from some men who, or partners, just partners in general, who have funded their partner's foray into real estate as saying they just wanted to get them out of the house. And so it's, to them, I think a lot of them don't see it as a real career or a real opportunity. To that I would say, fuck you, you misogynist pig. But also, perhaps if the thing that you have experience in is managing a home and then working in real estate, then the last thing you might want to do would be open a restaurant or work or buy a restaurant for that matter.
Years ago, I got a divorce.
It's always that midlife crisis thing. It always makes you do something new because you're like, my life is completely unrecognizable now. So what am I supposed to do? And so this is why a lot of like moms groups, a lot of divorcee groups, a lot of, you know, things like that will point people towards real estate because it's easy, low drag, and high paying. You know, may not always be true in every circumstance, but it is a trope.
And then I bought this place 2.5 years ago, and it kind of took up the
empty space. Yep. Exactly.
I don't care about getting rich from here. It would be nice to...
I just want to fill the void that my marriage and my kids, you know, had left by leaving.
Pay my bills, you know, and have some extra money at the end of the month.
Oh, I'm sorry. What was that? To pay my bills and have some extra money at the end of the month? Ladies and gentlemen of the stream, I put it to you that perhaps this was just a spending money venture for her. Maybe this wasn't the one that was going to lose the house, you know? If you're whining about not being able to have spending money at the end of the month, you might be whining about the wrong thing. I have put in hundreds of hours of work, lived under my desk, worked for like 30 days straight. Not really. I'm exaggerating. But I've worked my butt off and still only ever broke even. And it's not because my business didn't grow. I keep getting new clients all the time. But well, for catering, but it's because you don't get a lot of money when you own a business that's related to anything food. Overhead is exceptionally tight, and I can tell you right now that probably the leading reason why your business is failing is likely theft. How do I know that? Because your bar does more money than your restaurant does. So what that leads me to believe is that your bar inventory is changing without you knowing it, and you're unwittingly passing that you're passing the dip into the food when it like when you're not doing inventory. You get what I'm saying? So like somebody's stealing your booze and passing that expense or passing that lack of funds onto the food side. Could be that somebody's stealing food too, and it could just be that you're throwing out too much. Because another thing that is another trope of people not knowing how to run restaurants is that they buy too much and think like, oh, it's okay, we can just freeze it. That is not the case. Even freezing something means it still has a shelf life. Because freezers, in commercial freezers, commercial refrigerators, they always go through these cycles of defrosting, which bring things almost entirely out into the danger zone for around 90 minutes at a time. Which is still well within the window, like bring it back within temp, but it does reduce the cellular integrity of whatever it is you're trying to eat. Where you at? There you are, Gordon. Hey, Gordon, it's good to see you. Hey, this guy is totally not on meth.
This restaurant's nearly 50 years old, and by looking at the sign, it's
nearly 50 years old, and it's always leg slapping. Legs. There's so much slapping. Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. Chuchi! Woo! What? Oh, you saw my bong. You saw my paraphernalia. You saw my paraphernalia. Look at her looking at me. She's like, why were you slapping? She thought maybe I was going to give her food or something. No dice. Sorry about you. Nope. Just making sure we were adjusted correctly.
shows.
Casa Roma.
Hi. How are you?
Hi.
Oh, hi.
Nice to
Hi.
see you, Rob.
Nice to meet you.
And this is Nyla.
I'm Nyla.
Yeah, good to see you.
Yeah, this is my son, Jeremy.
Jeremy, how are you, buddy? Nice to meet you. Nice to see you. Now, this is very cozy. No windows.
In the first few seasons, I think they tried to make it sound like he was like surprising them. But that's almost never been the case. They always expect him showing up. I'm going to turn my face cam off now. This is the part of stream if you are not familiar with my stream. Hello, hi again. Hello, hi, I'm Goose. What's up? At some point, we turn off the face cam because I engage in the smoking of the cannabis. If you approve, that's fine. If you disapprove, feel free to look away. All right, look away, child. Look away. But I will be engaging in the combustion of said chemicals. It is medicine to me. It is not for recreation, but if you do it recreationally, please do so responsibly. Where the hell is my damn... Oh, it's already on here. Never mind. I use a pair of tweezers for my clip, or for my carb lever thing. All right, well, if you'd like to sync up while I get this bowl ignited, then please do. I'm going to count it down in 3, 2, 1. Cheers. Smoke 'em if you got 'em.
Anywhere?
No, not the bar part. We have a restaurant part over there.
Okay. In terms of business, I mean, the bar's obviously busy.
Bar's always busy.
Bar's always busy.
Always busy.
Nice.
It's our restaurant we can't get going to save our lives.
What restaurant were you working in before you got here?
I wasn't. He wasn't. I work in the grocery store and he works carpet cleaning.
Grocery store and carpet cleaning.
I know.
Is that blood down there? What is that?
So, this kind of dovetails into a point that I would like to cover, which is to explain the type of people that open and buy restaurants and become real estate agents and stuff like that. So, when you're the kind of worker that does things on spec, meaning like you buy a house because you think you're going to be able to flip it later, right? I mean, that's like most sales, most arbitrage, most middleman stuff. It takes a certain personality type in order to be able to make something like that work. At least the sale, I guess. Anywho, the thing that I'm trying to point out here is that she owns several businesses. I'm guessing that she owns the carpet cleaning business herself as well. Or she helped him get it started, or she funded it for him. Which is probably why he feels beholden to her to go and help her with this restaurant business. So it also helps to have a little bit of psychology at work too. What they're going through right now is essentially she's admitting that she's spreading herself too thin. But worse than that, she's basically saying that she is going to just allow the staff to make this place work. You know, and that's not how that works. That's the...
No.
And I think she's missing an opportunity here with the fact that the bar is busy. Really all she has to do is just kind of market the food to the bar patrons and then tell them to like bring family and stuff. You know, like bring your family. We're going to have an event. We're going to have a makers event where we're going to have all kinds of local creators who do like jewelry and 3D printing and t-shirts and merchandise. Bring your kids. It'll be fun. We'll have a whole thing set up. We'll even do like insert food special here. You know, like they could have done something like that where they get their already faithful bar patrons to basically prop up the business by, you know, going out and doing, not fundraising, but like, they'd essentially like do the word of mouth for her. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's a bit of a missed opportunity. Could have been something.
Just dirt. Oh, just dirt. And just out of interest, with no previous restaurant experience anywhere, why would you...
Is that blood? And he has to check before he says, no, it's dirt. So he's not sure.
Open a restaurant if you've never worked in one?
Because we're insane.
So, I think it's about time I had a little taste.
Not the word I'd use.
Where's the dining room?
Right through here.
Right through there. Jesus. That can't
Reckless.
be disgusting.
I was so excited whenever Chef Ramsay walked in the door. It was like, wow, I can't even believe he's here. I thought, well, here we go.
I can. You submitted a request, and then you had to do all these pre-show interviews and have camera crew in your... I guess you're saying that you're still in disbelief. That's fine.
He's going to see the nightmare I'm really living.
But it's your a nightmare of your own making. I hope that she acknowledges that.
Jesus. What is that?
Jesus H. Christ.
Crusty bits of lime, lemon, and bits of tissue.
Now, granted, places should be clean. You should be, you know, making sure that your seating areas are clean. I gotta blow my nose real quick. You should be making sure... Sorry. You should be making sure that your seating areas are clean. You should be making sure that your, you know, benches are clean, or whatever's in the cracks, like, should be getting cleaned out. But also, a lot of the stuff that he... a lot of the stuff that he brings up in his... ew, look at this, is really just normal shit. You would have to be cleaning every 2 hours on your hands and knees, deep cleaning, in order to get all the stuff that he notices. So there's definitely a lot of sensationalism in that regard.
On my table. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Good. I'm Ashley.
Ashley, nice to see you, darling. So
Nice to meet you.
I'll just give you those. They're,
Yeah,
they're on the
absolutely.
table and little bits of, I think, lime back from 1958.
Oh, nice.
Just down the side of the back of my chair. Sorry, Elaine. Excuse me. Excellent. These seats.
I get it. He's got a character he's supposed to play. But it's aggressive and dismissive at the same time. You know, I hate that shit. Like, don't do that. You can be professional. You can just have a meal. You can. I mean, this is all for TV, right? But it's fake in the sense that he's putting on a much more of a TV friendly persona when any real consultant would just go at a normal time when the restaurant's busy, and you would go and you'd sit down and you just have a meal and engage with the service staff exactly just normal, like any regular customer. At most of the time, the people that I'm working with don't even know that I'm me. I just eat the meal and then I take some notes, and afterwards, like, I will talk to the owner and we'll, come up with a game plan. There's not even any like, well, this waitress did this, or, well, your place wasn't clean, or nothing. There's nothing like that. All it is just, we come up with new policies. I tell them what I observed, and if it never triggers anybody. But like the way that he's acting is cold and dismissive, again, aggressive and dismissive at the same time, which just don't make sense.
I feel like, I know I'm not exactly the smallest, but I feel like I'm just gonna go through. Is that normal like that?
No, it's not. No, it's not.
I mean, I'll fix it in a minute. Casa Roma, fine Italian dining.
Dining. Oh.
Or is that just an Italian spelling? No? Weird.
It does say dinning, unfortunately. I mean, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I guess not screw that up. That's what you're gonna do. You're gonna not screw that up. Maybe I don't want this to be in the education category. Just entertainment, I guess. We'll keep it there. If you're just joining, hello. Welcome, and please hang out. Don't just swipe away after a few seconds. Come on. The average watch time on this is what? What are we at? God damn it, I flipped it from the analytics. 47 seconds. Come on, you guys can do better than 47 seconds. Holy crap. I'm not that bad. Gotta get that watch time up, because then I can actually, like, monetize these live streams. That'd be cool. Right? Don't you guys want me to actually get paid to do this?
Anyway, I'll start off with the stuffed mushrooms, please.
Stuffed mushrooms?
The Monte Cristo.
See, it would just be like this. This is just how it would just be, hello, hi, nice, how, like, I'll be taking care of you, cool, let me just order, okay, great. There would be no, like, I had to find these limes on the side of my chair. Oh, there's a bunch of trash, because I wouldn't be trying to, like, insult people or demean the service staff. It would be the owners. I wouldn't demean anybody, but it would be the owners that I'd be talking to about the stuff that I observed. This is like, there's a chain of command, man. Like, you don't call out a worker for something that's the owner's fault. Like, fuck you.
Yeah, I'm hungry, as you can see.
And I guess if there's any good time to go on my rant about Gordon Ramsay, it's now. He's not even a fucking chef. He's barely worked in any of his restaurants. He spent maybe like 3 or 4 years working in his restaurants before he got his first TV deal. He was in a previous TV deal with his mentor, Chef Marco Pierre White, who then got him another TV deal after he threatened to beat him up. So he got on TV, and what did he do? He fucking he does like cool stuff. Like, it's fine. Like, all the BBC stuff is great. It's like whatever. F Word, great show. Does a lot of work for charity. Awesome. But he's rarely cooked in any of his kitchens. It's like Guy Fieri. Like, people think Guy Fieri was a fucking chef. He was not a chef. He's just a TV personality. And that's fine. I see nothing wrong with that. TV chefs are just fine, but they're not real chefs. All right? Like, a chef is someone who teaches the skill of cooking to somebody else in a professional setting. That's what a real chef is. And Gordon Ramsay is really good at finding talent. He's really good at bringing talent into his company and helping that to grow by supplying recognition and money. His brand name is very recognizable, and he owns a lot of these restaurants, so it's a great talent farm for better chefs. I can acknowledge that about him, but he is not a chef. He is not a chef, and if people consider him a chef, if someone offers up a good enough argument, he's not a good chef. Okay.
And finally, I'm dying to taste a pizza. A casaroma.
Pizza.
What size would you like?
Yeah, let's go for medium.
Medium?
Yeah. Thank you, darling.
You already got it?
Leave this damn fucking thing open.
Yeah, I got a big order.
People say, well, he's a 5-star Michelin chef. Okay, so he's got 4 tires and a spare.
Funny. He's been a Michelin star chef a few times, but it's the restaurants again that get, awarded Michelin stars, not him himself. He hasn't been, the lead in his kitchen since his first kitchen. What was it? I'm trying to remember the name. I don't remember. I was trying to squeeze those brain juices. Just couldn't get them to work. But no, he knows how to cook entry-level French and English foods. But he doesn't know innovation. His scrambled eggs are terrible. He doesn't make mashed potatoes correctly. He doesn't make, and I mean correctly. His mashed potatoes are soup. I know, I followed his recipe, and I have many times made fun of his mashed potatoes. And I've been commiserated with on that, okay? So I'm not the only one telling that story. But so, I mean, yeah, make fun of the Michelin rating. It doesn't matter. Like, I have a buddy who was just Michelin recognized, which I think is the same as almost getting a Michelin star in Sacramento, the place where he started. He and I used to be buddies, if not business partners, and his food was just fine. To me, it was never Michelin quality, but I'm not on the Michelin panel, and I enjoyed his food, so I'm not saying he didn't deserve it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit's subjective, it's just like anything else. But they're framing his dismissal of that fact as like this wild thing, like, whoa, dun. They made that noise, that dun, 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 dun. The orchestral hit on an 80s Casio keyboard, if you were old enough to remember.
Kiss my ass. It means nothing to me.
It should mean nothing to you. You should just, be able to rest on your professionalism and your skills. Obviously, this guy didn't seem to have them, but that is the right attitude to have.
The shit on the blinds there is disgusting. Oh my God. Why are you hiding there?
You're trying to see? Have they brought any food to you?
Yes, I found some limes and lemons dehydrated down the side of my chair.
Unnecessary. You don't have to be a fucking dick. Casio, yes, oh yes, I remember Casio. I know you remember Casio. I remember Casio. I forget the one of those was from like was later featured in cell phones as like a ringtone. It was like the ding 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 ding, the jungle thing. Ding 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 ding.
And bits of tissue left on the table. Do you have a cleaner in here?
Yes, we do.
Christ almighty. Is she blind?
Probably.
It's just so mean, like there's no reason, like, again, speaking as a person who's done consulting before, you eat a meal, you sit down, you eat a meal, you look around, you observe, you see what you see, and you just talk casually with the owner about it. So like, I think that we have an opportunity to really do some deep cleaning around here and really reset this place, and then we'll see how long we can maintain that. And if we can do that indefinitely, then it'd be great to just like get us started on a nice squeaky clean note and continue it and provide like all that awesome healthy, safe atmosphere for our customers. That'd be awesome. That'd be great. That'd be super awesome. See, like, you don't have to put it like, oh, all this shit, is she fucking blind? You have a cleaner? Is she blind? is Sadie Sink in Spider-Man. Yeah, we see her XV in the trailer. Just a glimpse. I'm certain that it's her, but it's just not. They don't show her face or anything. And he's selling the a-hole bit for ratings. Oh no, it's definitely for ratings. That's absolutely what the whole reasoning behind it. But even in television, even when you're sensationalizing things, you can just do all the making stuff up. You can do all the the encounters and the random, buying the customers, bringing them in from Yelp or whatever. But we don't have to increase this indoctrination that like people just need to not give a fuck what other people think. I think there is merit in trying to be empathetic, and this trained a whole generation of people, just to be dicks. I was screaming in the kitchen like Gordon Ramsay does.
Wait, you're not doing nothing right now?
Clean up.
I didn't see her. Yeah, but she's in it, and you see what appears to be a smaller female frame trapped to a chair. It can only be one, because then I think they're also talking about. They also run that through the scene with where she's jumping from mind to mind. It's just by process of elimination, from who I just happen to know is in the movie. It makes it easy for me to assume that. It could potentially be somebody else, but I doubt it.
Can I have an ice water, please?
Way to go.
She's standing right there.
No, you get your own fucking water. Again, this guy would have been... If the first thing that I heard from him was swearing at his sous chef, I'd be like, he needs to be fired. I'd pull the owner aside and I would say, that guy needs to be gone right now. I don't care if you have to bring in a temp. I don't care if you have to go in there and work a shift yourself, but that guy is gone. He's gone or I'm gone. Nope. Will not have somebody bullying somebody at work. That is fucking what are you, in 6th grade? There's no room for that at any profession. If you guys work, I don't know if you do, but if you work and there's somebody that's bullying another employee and they're just fucking allowed to do it, then either you need to leave or you need to do better managing. Because that shit, not fucking cool.
Probably. Hey, you're not doing nothing right now?
I'm cleaning up her stuff.
Give me a glass of ice water, please.
White ice water? Yeah. Nyla, can I have an ice water, please?
Way to go.
She's standing right there.
You get your own fucking water.
Oh my God. It's 0 for 0. 15 minutes in, nothing.
I mean, let's not stretch reality too much. I don't know that I'd be expecting something in 15 minutes. With 2 guys there, middle of the day, they're probably heavy in prep. I would say maybe 20 minutes, and then you're probably going to get out of there in 45. That would be my assumption is to the pace of a meal in this setting at this time, just with the speed they're going and the amount of food he ordered, 45 minutes.
Starving.
We got some appetizers coming, right?
What?
Yeah, good. You should. I mean, again, though, work is not school. Work should not be treated like school. You're not in high school anymore. Work is a professional place where you go separate from your home. You leave your attitude at the door. You're there to work. You're not there to engage in fucking either bullying or, engaging in whatever people do, gossip, water cooler talk. Fuck that shit. No, we're not friends. We're not a family. You're there to do work for me. And if you try to develop a relationship with me, it won't work. Because usually with consulting jobs, I'm there and then I'm gone. I do the job and then you ride off into the sunset, never to be seen again. You just got to keep it professional, And they say don't shit where you eat. In terms of not having a relationship, especially a sexual relationship with someone that you work with, but it also works for friendships too. Don't be friends with your coworkers unless you were friends before. It's complicated, and you could very easily get screwed over, and it could just bring too much emotion into a place where you're really just supposed to clock in, do your shit, and clock out. And the more that you are able to separate work from your normal life, the more you're able to leave work at work so that it doesn't make you project onto your family when you get home. You know, you don't end up taking out your stress on anybody else. You can hang out, you can enjoy your good times. And it's like almost you're therapizing yourself, therapyizing, just by clocking out. You know, I think that's cool. I think that's a philosophical win, in my opinion.
Appetizers coming.
It's cooking.
Fuck you think? That's what snapped. Damn.
Got like 3 of them staring at these guys. Now, am I crazy? Or could these motherfuckers not just get behind the fucking line and start cooking? I mean, clearly, this guy has... I'm pointing at the chef. Clearly, that guy has no fucking clue what he's doing. But this guy works for a living, so he can just pick up a tool and just have someone tell him what to do. Very, very simple. He could just jump in and fucking do it. Trial by fire. Best way to learn how to cook. Even better if you don't even have basic knife skills. You just walk in and you're like, tell me what to do. I'm ready. I got 2 hands. I'm ready to do this. Maybe a little bit arthritis, but I'm ready to do this. And why is he's dismantling the dining room? Again, yes, this is probably specifically just because television, but even if you're on television, I feel like it just doesn't make sense to dismantle the fucking dining room. There's so many things you can do, like speech-wise. You could just talk about the decor, talk about, like, you don't have to just do this like one-upsmanship on the rest of the shows. They're not doing this shit, all right? You're never gonna see this on House Hunters. They're dismantling the dining room. He's finding rat turds in his lettuce.
Spend more time cleaning up after his ass with the fucking makeshift.
Like, why is he... Is this to like, just, oh, you know, I'm gonna go and fix my seat because that shows that I'm just too good for what's happening right now. I'm too good for this, the weight. I'm too good for how the chair moves. I'm just too good for any of this, okay? So I shouldn't have to deal with any of it. Like, fuck you, dude! You're there to assess. You're there to see what the restaurant is doing well in and what the restaurant needs work in and help them out. You're there to help them! It's like, in the later seasons, you could really tell that he really only cares about just himself looking good. And so he just steamrolls over it like, I don't give a fuck. Like, he tries to fight somebody. Like, this isn't a kitchen in Napa. Come on.
That's better. A proper seat.
Just turn that one.
Like, why would you just be standing there at the fucking counter? Why wouldn't you say, hey, is there anything I can do to help? Like, that's one of the first things I ever learned at one of my first jobs. And I had to learn this just because I was standing around doing nothing most of the time. I was like, is there anything I can do to help? And then they would be like, oh yeah, can you go and do... Just fucking talk to me. Like, just communicate to me. Tell me what to do. If you're paying me to be here, I don't want you to lose money by not fucking telling me what to do. I'm an extra pair of hands. I can do it. Just tell me. But like, this guy doesn't fucking care.
That's what snapped.
See, like, look, he's just fucking looking at the window. Look.
It's killing me.
Now, okay, granted, it looks like you've got a few checks there.
We gotta get rid of all these dirty dishes. It's killing me.
It clearly, all right, I don't want to just be judgy. You got a few tickets. I get it. And you got a calculator out. For some reason, I get it. All right? But also, I don't know that I wouldn't have just said, hey, is there anything I can do to help? You know, I mean, call me crazy, call me insane, tell me I'm unhinged, but I feel like I would have tried to jump in at some point. Even if I was the owner's son, even if I was like a stranger going into the bathroom and seeing that their tickets are piling up and that Gordon fucking Ramsay's sitting in a bench in the dining room, I'd be like, it looks like you guys are a little understaffed and Gordon Ramsay seems to be sitting in the dining room. Are you doing a kitchen nightmares? If you're doing a kitchen nightmares, I am offering to jump in and help. You don't have to put a chef jacket on me or anything. I don't need any recognition. It's clear that he's going to get a bad meal, and I just want to, if I can help you guys look good, I'd probably volunteer, you know? Who knows? But the owner's son should definitely be volunteering. Standing there. Like, does that look complicated? Does sticking a metal spatula into an oven and turning a disc seem complicated? Because there's, people who just get out of jail, who've been in jail since they were in high school, who go into kitchens and can do pizza work. Like, I mean, it ain't that difficult. This motherfucker could just be who does rug cleaning for a living, with the state of the kitchen, or the state of the restaurant being what it is. He could very easily jump in and say, hey, do you need someone to use a spatula to turn a cylinder, or to turn a disc? Because I could do that. It looks easy enough. I could do that. But instead he's sitting there just letting them struggle.
Why is the kitchen so slow?
And what the fuck is he doing? What is he doing? He's the guy that's all like, oh yeah, this guy doesn't do any fucking work. What the fuck is he doing? Why isn't he helping pushing the food out? He's like doing doughs or some shit. You don't want to help? You're gonna just let this guy fucking burn? Maybe it could be that burnout is that his big sin because he's been forced to do all the fucking work. Oh, and then he goes out, yep, this is a great time for a smoke.
Somebody wants me, I'm out back.
Mm-hmm.
We're past the half-hour mark now, so, hey.
Yep.
Things are looking,
Yeah, now I would say he's been waiting too long.
Ooh la la.
Just gonna go ahead and smoke a cigarette.
You got your appetizer machine there?
Nope.
Oh, dear. Oh, my. That sandwich. And why do you have a sandwich covered in plastic? That is a mystery to me. With the fries.
Hey, what about appetizers?
They're all cooking.
Very
Hey, you
strange.
want to start on those pizzas
Just
then?
relax, take a chill.
I might as well keep fit, do something, hadn't I? No? Go for a jog, got a marathon coming up.
Oh yeah, he's totally not on cocaine or speed or anything. Totally.
Nothing wrong with working off for lunch when you get it.
Do you have anything on that last order ready?
What's that?
Anything on that last order ready or close?
No, we put everything up at one time. We're just waiting for the sandwich and the pizza.
If you got one thing
you want
close,
me to start late?
if you got one thing close, lay it out.
Okay. Well, the fuck you want to do that? But okay.
We got the
Oh,
appetizer.
Jesus. Okay, great. Ooh, I was nodding off then.
Huh?
I was nodding off. I'm so
No, I
sorry.
saw that.
Thank you, madame. And that's stuff with crab.
Right.
Lovely.
Okay.
Thank you, madame.
You're welcome.
Wow.
Oh dear.
Fried mushrooms.
Those aren't fried mushrooms. I don't know what those are, but those are not fried mushrooms. Stuffed mushrooms.
Jesus. Soggy. Tasteless. There's not even crab or any form of flavour or texture or anything in there, but what worries me more than anything, they're just full of water.
I mean, like, go anywhere and squeeze your food. This shit fucking annoys me. Like, yes, you can cook the water out of a mushroom. Yeah, it takes a while. But that's typically not anyone that does like stuffed mushrooms for like a bar snack or something like that. People don't care if it has water in it or not. I prefer for it to be cooked pretty hard and long, if you will. But squeeze anything and it's gonna look gross. Like, that's just mushrooms happen to be sponges, and fucking Ramsay knows that. And so he's creating a sensational moment for TV by squeezing the mushroom and letting the water come out. Clearly, the food doesn't look that good. But amateurish food can still taste good. And the chef did prime us by saying, like, I don't really give much of a shit about it looking good. I just want it to taste good. And we can't taste through the television, so we have to just trust whatever it is that we're seeing. He's squeezing water out of a mushroom. I mean, like I said, go anywhere and squeeze your food, and it's going to look gross. It's just a cheap TV trick.
How is everything?
And he's just saying that there's no crab or anything satisfying in there. He can play anything, any angle that he wants, because we can't taste the food.
Yeah, pretty vile. Are they frozen, the mushrooms?
They should be making them fresh.
Really?
Yes.
Now don't be asking the server at a failing restaurant questions about the food. Typically, they're going to know what it's called and a little bit about it. They're not going to know any of that deep behind the scenes knowledge because they don't fucking care. And that's fine. Like that's not within their job description. They don't necessarily need to know the ins and outs of the food. It helps. But at a failing restaurant, you've got so much fatigue, you've got burnout, you've got stress, you've got resentment because perhaps they haven't been paid. Maybe they've only been getting tips. Like, you don't know. There's a lot of factors to think about. So you don't ask your server if the stuff in the kitchen is prepared a certain way. You ask the guy who prepares it. This again is a cheap TV trick because she's not going to know or she's going to say the wrong answer, and then he's going to gotcha them later, saying like, "Oh, but I thought she said you were supposed to be getting them in fresh. Oh, I thought she said picture there."
Fucker didn't work. I told you.
The stuffed mushrooms that you got, but then you could definitely tell you said that you taste that it was frozen, and you didn't like those at all either.
I mean, who gives a shit if something's frozen as long as it tastes good? I understand. Again, I get it. I know that the food doesn't look good, and it maybe is, in all likelihood, is not good, but we don't know that. And if we don't know that, we can't just take fucking Chef Ramsay's word for it. He's shown himself to be untrustworthy thus far in this episode, or at least unscrupulous. Let's draw the line at unscrupulous, and we can move the line later. Manufacturing problems is a bit of a deceptive angle, so we'll move the line past unscrupulous to downright sneaky.
Deluxe pizza. What is that, man? What's that sandwich? That's an ugly sandwich.
Yeah, no shit. I'm not worried about him. Let's see what he's got. If he wants to bitch and moan, that's his drama.
Okay.
Oftentimes, I hate to bust another spoiler up into that dome of yours, but a lot of times they just tell people to say stuff they want them to say, and it can sometimes be adversarial, it can sometimes be like, placating or abusive or exploitative or whatever, but they often kind of like script moments and story arcs and stuff. So I doubt this guy is like, "Oh yeah, fuck Chef Ramsay, I don't give a shit what his opinion is. Yeah, whatever, I don't care if he's got to go and bitch and moan, that's his problem." I think that they were just trying to say like, "Hey, can you like say something that would tell us that you're not overly concerned with his opinion about the food, so we can get like a little bit of drama going back and forth." I've heard people coached like that from producers before for the show Chopped.
Here's the deluxe, and then here's your Monte Cristo.
Thank you.
Did she say?
Okay. Here's the deluxe, and then here's your Monte Cristo.
Let me turn on the captions real quick. I knew she said Crisco. I just didn't want to believe it. Monte Cristo. Oh my God. That because it was just floating in fat a moment ago. Like, that was pretty good. That's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Thank you. Is that powdered sugar?
Yes.
On the sandwich?
Yes.
With fries?
Yes.
Is that popular?
No.
Jesus.
No, but a Monte Cristo is made with like French toast. So it's like a ham and cheese sandwich. You make it with French toast and you batter it and fry it, or you batter it and grill it. flat top grill. They're good because it's a mixture of savory and sweet, and typically they are fluffier, than the one that we just saw. They're like nice. I think he fucked it up on purpose. I think the producer probably told him to fuck it up, in all honesty. But they're typically like fluffy, and they taste like just really good. I don't know. They're just really good. It's a good sandwich. Monte Cristos are really good. And yes, they're topped with powdered sugar. Gordon's lack of knowledge about American food makes is geared towards making the viewer think that that's somehow the restaurant's fault. But it's really just his lack of understanding of American food.
It's actually dripping.
Go anywhere and squeeze any food, and you'll see that this is just a cheap fucking trick. Again, we're moving the dial. We keep moving it over towards sleazy. All right? Mr. fucking Ramsey, who's totally not on speed, by the way.
Fat.
Ew.
Squeeze a salad. You'll make it drip. Squeeze a piece of bread. You'll probably make it drip. Jesus.
When Chef Ramsay squeezed the Monte Cristo and all that oil came out.
It's Cristo. It's Count of Monte Cristo. Cristo!
That really disgusted me. That was very disgusting.
Yes, it was meant to do that. It was meant to be gross. Angel, what's up?
Pizza. Maybe the best is for last.
I mean, if you're putting that many toppings on pizza, I don't know who needs to hear this. I know that there are probably some pizza noobs out there, okay? But pizza must only ever have 2 or less toppings. And that doesn't include cheese. Cheese is default. If you have a pizza that cheese should be on, cheese should not be on some of them. Ita, I hear you tearing something apart. Ita. Don't destroy stuff. Don't destroy stuff. You stinky poopies. You stinky poopies. She came in, she listened to my lecture, and then she lazily walked back out.
Unfortunately, the dough's raw, so thick, like wallpaper paste.
So, this is another thing that he does, like, constantly. The dough's not wrong. Like, I mean, there's a very low chance that it might be, but it's not fucking wrong. It's, ugh. If you take the cheese off of any pizza, if you take the cheese off and you kind of scrape below, like, the whatever sauce, and, like, it'll look like it's raw. So you can, like, kind of just make it look however you want, but it's not actually raw. I'd be hard-pressed to believe that it is.
Raw. Oh my god. And that's why, clearly...
It's not. You can actually see, like, you can see that it's that. The fact that it's not... Well,
like wallpaper paste.
See, the fact that it's not moving this under here, like where it's broken, the fact that it's not moving tells me that it's not raw right there. It's just, that's just the inside. It's going to be, like, soupy because it's melding with all the sauces and cheese and shit. Like, it's not raw. Promise.
Oh my god. And that's why, clearly, there's nobody in the restaurant. Because the only people that can eat this kind of shit are the ones in the bar. Drunk.
So, this place is presenting much more of a management and administrative set of problems than a food problem. I think their food is probably just fine. It just needs someone who cares to cook it. That's all.
After a long wait in an empty restaurant for some horrible food, Gordon gathers the staff.
So you're the sous chef, and you're the head chef?
This is something consultants never do. This is just for TV purposes. None, like, you would never gather the staff together and then speak to them like a public speaker, like a motivational speaker. You simply talk to the owners. And if you work, I mean, sometimes there are different types of consulting gigs where sometimes you may have hands-on roles where you're actually working in the kitchen, helping them, like, develop recipes and showing them how to do things. Or you're working out in the dining room, like, talking about how to upsell and talking about how to sell more diverse things for a better margin blend, yada yada, blah 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 blah. And then there's ones where you mostly just talk to the owner. In neither case would you gather all the staff together and then just kind of like lecture everybody on how terrible your experience was. Like, that's just not a real thing. Purely TV.
To discuss the nightmare that is Casa Roma.
Lunch. Absolutely embarrassing.
Lunch.
The fried sandwich. What planet are you on when you put that shit together? Casa Roma celebrates its 50th year this year. Yeah, I mean, what a fucking embarrassment. Eric, you knew I was coming for lunch today.
I didn't know whose you were. I said, which one is this? They wouldn't tell me.
Ashley.
You never asked which one.
And it shouldn't matter if it was him or her or whoever.
I came here today, to taste your best, like any chef would do when they go into each other's
Wrong? What's wrong?
restaurants, yeah? I'm not here to fucking catch you off guard, so cut the limp dick excuses and give me some fucking respect for the restaurant alone.
You don't talk that way to people, just in general. So I certainly wouldn't be insulting people or like calling people names or saying limp dick excuses. You would really just be talking to the owner again, probably during service or something, and just saying what you observed, and you'd be professional, and you wouldn't be yelling at anyone.
A bad fucking day, pal. Now you're pushing it. Enough. I get it. We understand.
A bad day?
Yeah,
because of this, mostly just because of this.
You never had a bad day?
I do have bad days all the
Well,
time.
actually, you have one today. Just relax, take a chill pill, reload, and do it again.
What the big problem is with you, Eric, you've accepted it.
In your opinion only.
What?
What part of that don't you freaking understand?
What do you mean, freaking understand?
Yeah, what part of that don't you understand? In your opinion only. I haven't accepted it. Yeah, and I fuck up stuff. Yeah, I fuck up. So I try and reload and redo it.
There's nothing edible.
Move out of the way.
Why are you walking away, Eric?
So I don't fucking rip your head off.
Appalled by the food, Chef Ramsay's little chat with head
Yeah,
chef.
so, drama. It looks great on television. Pretty far removed from reality, though.
Eric didn't exactly go over well.
Lunch. Absolutely embarrassing. What planet are you on when you put that shit together? Why are you walking away, Eric?
So I don't fucking rip your head off.
I was in awe when Eric talked to Chef Ramsay like that. He's coming here to help us out. Don't be rude to him.
You got 2 minutes?
2 minutes?
Yes, don't be rude to people. Obviously, don't be rude to people. But also, don't think about Chef Ramsay as anyone other than just a normal fucking person. Like, he's not some super fucking star. He's not even really that good of a cook. He's a great businessman. He's a great talent scout. He's a great TV personality, but he's not a chef. You don't have to worry about his opinion on food. It's very outdated. It's very one note. It's very boring. He loves like boring shit, like seared tenderloin, like seared filet mignon he says is like the gold standard of steak. Fuck you! Completely wrong. Any chef worth his salt knows it's the Spinalis Dorsey. I gotta get more water. Spinalis Dorsey! Oh, I got a bunch of Taco Bell taco sauce and no idea what to do with it. You're a chef? Yes, I'm a chef. I own a catering company. I do consulting. Yes, indeed. I'm sure I've said that once or twice. What's up, Slinky? Don't throw up.
Yes, I've got a week.
I'm not going to give you no excuses at all. All right? Long days. Haven't been feeling 100%, but I'm here anyway.
See? Burnout. Instantly. I could tell just from his fucking conduct with the other guy in the kitchen. And if Chef Ramsay, like, had come and, like, watched the service, he would have seen their interacting. Let me blow my nose real quick. But it's just burnout. That's all it is. Like, obviously, dark circles under his eyes, like going out in the middle of an order to smoke. And that's the thing, like when I don't know if any of y'all do this, but when I go out to a restaurant, I'm always looking at just everything. Like I go to a restaurant because it's a visual feast. You know, like there's a whole bunch of cool shit to see. Like the way the fucking place is designed, like the way the food looks, the way like the fucking, looks, you know, like. Own a restaurant? No. I own a catering company. I mostly work out of my home and like trailers, whatever I rent for an event. I have owned restaurants. I helped open just under 10 restaurants in my days, but I'm old, man. Like I've had a whole life.
You do what you got to do. You work, try to get these people better. Let me reload and see what we can do again.
See, he clearly doesn't have that hostility that they played up in the beginning. What do you do then? I cater and I consult. And then I sometimes work like part-time jobs. And I do marketing sometimes.
Okay. I think we got fucking caught flat-footed, but I get to reload one time. I won't get caught flat-footed again. You bet your ass on that.
See what I mean? Like, he's clearly not hostile. He's not a hostile individual.
Cecilia needs to first, so we're writing.
Yep.
C-E-C-S-A-N.
Sicilian what?
That's right.
That is
That's not how you spell Sicilian.
Or it might be Sicilian.
That's Cecilia. Not Sicily.
Sicilian's from Sicily.
Really?
Because S-I-C-I-L-Y, I don't think there'd be a Y.
No, it's I-L-I-N.
Sicilian. There we go. Thank God you guys saw that.
Thank God.
Do you work here or are you just bypassing? Come round so we can say hello. This is
Jimmy.
Jimmy.
And what is so hilarious is he puts on a fucking chef jacket and like he doesn't ever cook. He doesn't ever cook in the kitchen. You don't have to wear a chef jacket in a kitchen just because like that's the uniform that cooks wear. Like that's not, if you're just visiting, then you don't have to like, oh hey, you're about to enter a kitchen, can you put one of these on? You don't fucking do that shit. Nobody does it. Is it weird to pluck your nose hairs in public? I guess. It's a interesting question, but I don't think I've ever seen anyone plucking their nose hairs in public. But yeah, like you don't have to just wear a he does it because hey, he's a chef, right? He's a chef.
And what do you do?
Doesn't do any of the cook, doesn't cook at all.
What do you do?
Doesn't help.
A little bit of everything. Just try and help out.
So, what's that in there?
Cranberry juice.
Cranberry juice. Nice.
A little vodka.
Vodka and cranberry
Yes,
juice.
yes.
So you drink and work at the same time?
No, I don't work.
Oh, you're not working?
No,
Sorry, I
no,
thought you
no.
Oh yeah, I mean, Skippy, if you want to pluck your nose hairs in public, I guess go ahead. I ain't gonna stop you.
Well, okay, right.
No.
So what do you do then, outside of here? What's your job? What's your
I
career?
do construction. Operate heavy machinery.
Okay, so no one's got any cooking or restaurant experience?
No.
See, it's a whole family of hustlers. Like, they all just have their own businesses and are all, like, vertically integrated. Like, he has a construction business. The other guy has a carpet cleaning business. She's a real estate agent, but she also runs a grocery store. What do you want to bet? Maybe they're doing a little bit of money laundering, huh? What do you want to bet? Maybe that construction does a little bit more than pour concrete, huh? Gordon Ramsay is overrated. He can't make a proper pad thai. He can't make a proper lots of things. I think there's people who are like fucking gushing over his scrambled eggs recipe, but it looks and tastes like shit. It's like porridge with like grains in it. It's almost like grits. It's so gross. It's so gross. His scrambled eggs are trash. Don't diss Gordon. Gordon fucking sucks. He has this like grift of like a network of television shows, and he's only ever cooked in like one restaurant professionally. Like he helps with doing like recipe research, but it's just everyone's assumption that he is good that makes him good. And yeah, like he cooks, but not well. And his methods are way out of touch, or way out of date. Way outdated. He's not doing anything modern. Even in all his modern even like in all his like more recent programs, he's still fronting. So you can say wrong. He cooks better than you. No, he doesn't. Sorry.
No, not at all.
Excellent.
When's the last time you saw him cooking in his restaurants? Because he doesn't do that. He does like the appearances when he opens the restaurants. He does the appearances, and he'll do like the recipe research and stuff, and he'll probably cook the initial dishes. But he's a good talent scout. The executive chefs and the sous chefs that he hires are the ones who earn the Michelin stars. That's well known in the restaurant industry. What isn't well known is how much of a scam his television shows are. I mean, the ones on the BBC were fine. He owns the restaurants, but he's not going to be in back cooking when he owns it. That's a stupid point of view, man. Any chef worth his salt is cooking in his restaurant. All the best restaurants, like literally all the best restaurants in the world, the chef is the one who typically owns it or is in partnership with the person who owns it and cooks in the kitchen. Or at the least leads the kitchen, which means he's actively cooking as well. All the best fucking restaurants, like French Laundry, he has multiple restaurants. So, right. He's a good talent scout. He hires the best executives and sous chefs. That's what I'm saying. I'm giving him that credit, is that he's a really good businessman. But he's a TV personality, first and foremost. He's not a restaurateur, first and foremost. He's a TV personality. And while his reputation far precedes him, he's not a good cook. His methods are from like 1980. And he didn't keep learning from then on. He only picks up, and I've seen him fillet a fucking halibut. He does it in a minute 30. Go fuck yourself. No way, dude. And he left like 30% of flesh on that bone. He's not a good cook. He's not a good prep cook. He can write a mean recipe. Have you ever tried his food? Yes. Many times. And it was fine. But again, it's his executives that are cooking. It's not him that's cooking. It's his sous chefs that are cooking. That's just a bald-faced fact.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Put a chair here, and I'll put you one on the end.
I'm gonna have the chicken parmesan.
He's gonna have the chicken nuggets and fries.
Can I get calamari to start and then
Now,
chicken
chicky
nuggets with
nuggies.
Excuse me?
Nothing wrong with a little chicky nugget.
Get spaghetti Alfredo, so chicken parm, maybe okay.
Eric, you want me to saute, man? You want me to saute?
Chicken farm?
Eric and I do not get along in the kitchen because we don't really communicate very well.
Oh, you mean food that he personally made? No, but I've watched him cook it. You know, you can. It's pretty easy to tell when someone sucks at cooking when you're watching them. It's all just bluster.
Do you prefer working on your own?
Sometimes, yeah.
I can tell.
Why is that?
She's not saying anything, just doing what I gotta do. Yeah. Oh dear. Oh.
Your stuff mushrooms, you're welcome. You dig in.
So this is the phase of the evening where he invites just rando people, tries to get them in to eat. Maybe even offers to pay for it. But they get like a big group. It's usually Yelpers who are typically, they want people to hear them talking shit about things. So that's what they do. Like, it's not... I think in later seasons, they even talk about how he invites people in to, like, rate the food during, like, before they've fixed things.
cooked? You think? No. You send that bag. This sausage.
No. That's fine.
It's not done.
That didn't look raw to me. Hang on, let me look at it again.
I gotta do. Yeah. Oh dear.
Come on.
Is it cooked? You think? No.
The minimum recommended temperature by the USDA as far as sausage goes is at least 155, which is way, way overcooked. That's like dry as fuck. You're in Sahara territory. That looks to be, I would say, just off medium, which is gross. I mean, I wouldn't want to eat a meatball that undercooked. And knowing the restaurant, might be some foodborne illness there, at least a possibility. But in a good restaurant with a high turnover of decent quality product, you're not going to be in much danger eating a medium rare meatball. It's not going to taste good texturally, but it won't harm you. Yeah. The reason why they say 155 for like ground meats and stuff like that is because as you're working blades through a thing, there's could be a possibility that there's some microbe somewhere that transferred itself onto the interior of the grounds of the meat, and so could just be throughout everything. But if it's good quality, if you're grinding this stuff yourself and you're maintaining good hygiene standards in the first place, then it's not going to really matter if you have medium rare meatballs. For that matter, if you raise your own chickens, you're going to be way less concerned about salmonella because they only really happen in like commercial chickens. But I mean, that kind of happens with its eggs that are tainted. I like the cooking show Hell's Kitchen. Gordon going nuts was so funny. Yeah, which it did condition an entire generation of chefs to think that that's how you lead kitchens. And that, I would say, harmed the overall industry, leading people to be way more abusive and exploitative. But it's not Gordon's fault. Does he still make episodes? They just came back. That's why I'm doing this, is because they just started doing new episodes. So I'm hoping to see if I can find one or two of them and then react to that, because I would like to do a contrast to see how he's evolved over the years. But yeah, they're making new episodes. They tried to do the F Word, and I think it got canceled. But he did try to do an updated version of that in like LA, I think.
You send that bag. This sausage.
But this would not have been. I would not have been sending this back. I would just be eating this. It's you can see by the texture in the middle that it's completely cooked.
It's not done.
Eric, the sausage isn't done.
I ain't got time for this.
It looks like it's frozen.
I'm sorry about that, guy.
It looks like it's frozen. That's how I know you're bullshitting. Is because you're saying it looks like it's frozen. I can't tell if something's been frozen. I guess, let's see. Is there anything you can tell? Like, I guess leafy vegetables you can tell. What else? I don't know. There's not much that you can tell if it's been previously frozen. I guess some types of fish. But stuffed mushrooms maybe is what he was talking. I don't know what he was talking about, but you can't just tell it was frozen.
Working here is life for us. It's what pays our bills.
Until you eat it.
And to know that the cook is keeping us from making money, it's hard on us.
What was wrong with the calamari?
What happened to the calamari that just came back?
They said that it tastes like it was frozen.
Oh, is this normal?
Yes.
Oh, you know, what can you do? Drew, I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chicken breasts.
Gordon's not helping. Just so you know, Gordon is not. He's not like, hey, let me jump in and help. Because it's really just getting the food out that seems to be the problem. Tastes like it's frozen. That's just bullshit. He's just blowing smoke.
Eric doesn't ever really push to get it done. He just keeps telling me, oh, it's okay.
But who's helping him? Who's in here they're just looking at him? Would you, like, if you're the kind of person that shuts down when you're under stress, like big amounts of stress, would you flourish during this? With the guy Nemo who gave Gordon a run for his money. Nemo. I don't know if I remember that one. I did just pick a random one.
I got it. Everything's gonna be fine.
But like, I know, like my wife shuts down. Like if she's ever trying to help me with something and I'm like, and I'm too like instructive and I'm like, oh no, you got to do it like this. No, don't do it like that. No, hang on. I'm gonna show you this like this. Like if things get too stressful, like if I get like too particular about something, she will just shut down. She'll be like, and then she'll just like look at me doing it. I'm like, don't you want to help? It's like, no. Which I can sympathize with. I am quite the taskmaster. But like I don't know. Like I've seen people shut down on the line before and it looks like that's what he's doing. He's burnt out. He's stressed. He's not, you know, feeling the passion anymore. And then you've got people that are just around him talking shit about him all the time. Like he seems like he just wants to do better, but nobody's offering any kind of support whatsoever. And I think they fire this dude.
But it's not.
Did you get the lasagna, Drew, or no?
Damn it, am I the only one that fucking works here?
It's an hour.
And all the sous chef is doing is talking shit. He's just been prepping this entire time. This entire time, every shot of the kitchen, the sous chef has been prepping and then talking a shit about how little the actual chef does. Like, dude, you're flipping, you like turned a pizza around once. What are you doing to help?
Into dinner service, and several
It's part of your job.
getting sent back to the kitchen.
Good. Yeah, definitely go back.
They're paid. They're paid to do this. Or not, they're not paid maybe, but like these are just like people that Gordon brought in, like invited in to do this.
And only one table has received its entrees.
This is probably the worst shrimp scampi that I've ever had in my entire.
See, they're just told to say negative things. That's why they're there. And what I think is really funny in some of the other episodes, they say, news of Gordon's appearance has spread. Like, go fuck yourself. This is already his show. Don't promote him anymore. Like, who cares? Who gives a shit that Gordon's in town?
Let me take it back to the chef and explain it to him.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Okay, guys, listen. Worst shrimp scampi they ever had, and they said no flavor at all.
You know, what can you do? Here's some water to me.
See, it seems like he's trying to, like, brush it off his shoulder and continue on and do a good job, but they're framing it like he's like, oh, he doesn't care. He doesn't care, so it's terrible. The owners should be in the kitchen. The owners should be helping, period. Flat out. Like, no excuse.
Shrimps, you never taste it? Oh, you know, what can you do?
Gordon, what the fuck is Gordon doing? Gordon's not helping. He's not prepping. He's just standing there needling the guy, which makes it even worse.
So far apart from each other.
And he does this. He also does this thing where he catches their attention and he keeps talking to them and stalling service.
So now, I get frustrated, but try not to get angry at people.
And he's trying to therapize this guy during service.
You know, everybody says I'm a motherfucker anyway. So why should I perpetuate the problem that's not necessary?
But you need help. If you don't get help, we're going to be in the shit in the next 10, 15 minutes, no?
Is it really 8:30 already? It's true. I've been here for 2 hours and I'm not leave.
Or is this normal?
This is fucking normal.
But what is he doing? What is the sous chef doing?
This?
He was pressing dough into pans. Can't you be helping?
It's incredible. Right through those doors has to be, for me,
Is a guy that needs your help.
one of the worst restaurants I've ever seen in my entire cooking career.
You could be helping them improve.
The chef doesn't give a fuck. The owner's completely clueless and not any form of communication.
And you could very easily just go to the owner and say, hey, it looks like he needs some help in the kitchen. Do you want to just throw on a jacket and jump in? Goose, watch the episode with the Italian guy, Nemo. Best episode and great memes.
Between the kitchen, the restaurant, and management, it's a fucking shambles.
We'll speed this up and we'll go through it. And we won't cover any of the, like, the shitty... Oh, the feel-good moments, you know.
What are we waiting on now, Ashley?
I'm still waiting on chicken piccata with penne marinara and individual kids pepperoni pizza, half order spaghetti with meat sauce, eggplant parmesan with angel and meat, chicken piccata angel with marinara.
Oh, this makes it sound way more stressful.
3 chicken parms and a veal parmesan for just one table. I felt like crying because it was that embarrassing for me.
Eric, yes sir. Yeah, can I have your undivided attention? Sure, nothing's happening.
And he's stopping service again. And he's stalling service again. He hears that they've been waiting 2 hours for their meals. And he's like, Eric, can I get just 2 seconds? And he's stopping him from cooking. He's making them wait even longer. And he's not even going to help them.
We served one table of 4, one table of 2. The last 3 tickets, half the order's gone out, half is still on the board. You haven't got a clue what's going on. You're running around crazy. What chance have we got serving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tables? You asked for one more crack at the lunchtime. Let me go, big boy, let me go. I want to do it again. We're spinning around and serving shit. Do me a favour, close the fucking restaurant. I can't stand any longer.
Do you see what I'm saying? And it's entirely likely that you know, they don't expect to get their food. You know, they could have been oh no, or even maybe Fox brought them in there and was like, because this happened to my wife when she came for a filming of Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives that I was in, and she was trying to eat. She just wanted to eat, and I think she was on her lunch or some shit, and they said, all right, are you guys ready to eat? Yay! And then they said, so they ordered and they started us cooking, and it still took like 3 more hours before they got food, and it was really disappointing. And I think so she was brought in like a cattle call. Take a shot every time Gordon says fuck. Well, we don't drink on stream anymore. Not for any particular reason, but I just am not a big drinker. And I think that would be like a hangover territory for me. I'll take a bite of ice cream. But yeah, it's entirely possible that the producers that brought these guys in on a cattle call probably didn't tell them that they might not be able to eat. And it is entirely possible that they just are trying to get them set up to be upset. You know? Well, apparently YouTube doesn't like that I'm watching the Kitchen Nightmares. I was being careful about pausing it, right? Tell me if you can see the stream again. Come on. Okay, yeah, just want to make sure it wasn't showing up for me anymore. There we go. Kitchen Nightmares is big. Mostly. Shabam. Well, of course he's not a Christian. I think he says he is, though, doesn't he? Yeah, I have to take a break before I can put Kitchen Nightmares back on. YouTube didn't like the copyrighted material. I guess I'll look up how would I know would I just type in Nemo? Is it Nino? Slinky? Hey, I'm the Nino, the Pinto, the Santa Maria.
Long Beach, California.
an oceanside community located 20 miles south of Los Angeles.
Long Beach.
The heart of this vibrant city is Nino's, a family-run restaurant opened in 1958 by immigrants Inga and Vincenzo.
When we got to America, Vincenzo wanted to open a restaurant.
I'm the Nino. I'm the Pinto. I'm the Santo Mario.
I ran the outside, he ran the kitchen. It was a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun too.
We had a great time.
Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
My dad ran a restaurant with an iron fist, and
Let me know if it's not this one. Santa Maria. Amarillo, Texas.
we were the best that you could be. It's hard now because he's 88. He's on the onset of dementia, and in the last several years has separated himself from the restaurant.
Who's taking table 11?
I have no idea.
Do you have table 11?
Ever since my dad retired, my brother Nino is supposed to be the restaurant manager. All I can say is he's the worst employee here. He loves to run up to tables and go, "Hi, I'm Nino." Thinks he owns this place, and it's because his name Nino's. However, my dad has told him, Jack in the Box, the owner no be named Jack.
We got table 6.
What? But if it's called Jack's, Jack in the Box, then you would want the owner to be named Jack. I feel like that is a reasonable expectation. I don't know why. I don't know. It seems like a weird,
Please.
I'm
really weird thing.
I didn't sleep last night.
Terrific.
Well, until we can determine if this is the one you were looking for, Slinky, then I still want to put. I'm going to finish the last one.
Any longer and watch that embarrassment.
Ah, come on! Blocked again. Why you gotta do this to me, YouTube? Dude. Just making some weird noises. Okay, Chi-Chi. My stream keeps getting blocked on the YouTube. On the YouTubes. If you're watching on Twitch, I don't think it's happening there, but darn it. Okay, it is Nino. Okay. Well, it looks like I'll have to find a way to do Kitchen Nightmares somehow else, I guess? I don't know how to make it work without getting the stream blocked, you know? Alright, it looks like it's on the...
Terrific, thank you.
It's still on the horizontal stream,
Nino
so...
works here. We pay him, but basically he does very little. He sits in the office and watches TV.
If he wouldn't be our son, he wouldn't be working here.
How's table 11 coming along?
They're almost ready. Because my brother sits around a lot and doesn't do anything. My sister Karina and I have helped throughout the years substantially.
We found a hair in that food. And you must have put it there. No, I don't have red, dude. I don't have any hair.
You know, you're making it worse.
They're liars.
No, they're not. My brother's 60 years old and he acts like he's 12. That was inappropriate what you just did. This is my parents' legacy and he's gonna run this.
I mean, yeah, all understandable. Obviously, you know, I mean, it seems like they know their problems pretty thoroughly at this point.
Run into the ground.
You're a lying sack of shit.
I got a brother and sister that they think they got better ideas. My brother and sister asked Chef Ramsay to come without consulting me, and I have an ill feeling.
I mean, I feel like, you know, they just want help, and like I don't think that you need to be upset about that, unless you have a feel. I mean, I guess you know that they're just gonna blame you.
About it.
We are so leaving forever.
I mean, is he that detached from reality that he doesn't see how much mom is suffering?
They're freaking liars.
This is a
He was laughing, right? And that